So last time, you managed to escape from the lair of the kobolds, camped out, and while making your way north, eventually grouped up with Nathan's party, just to the west of the mountains. Continued into the mountain range where you saw a second party that proceeded to be frozen to death by the dragon, who then
Oh,
attacked you, got harpooned in the back, and lost a skill to A-bomb. After threatening you with a death and destruction, the dragon did fly off in the direction of Medford, while the party, both our players and the other members of the frontiersmen, climbed the mountain, spotting the lair of the beast and proceeding to enter, where pretty much everybody was overcome by a lust to chip out some of the treasure from within the walls of the Kiev, buried under the ice by the dragon. And you just have a rope, I think it's like 100 feet of rope hanging down the tunnel to the bottom of the slope that'll allow you to get quick access in and out of the frozen Kiev, which would be otherwise very difficult to do. So,
just using the saber-tooth fangs to like stab into the ice
kick
up
your
the
way out.
cliff.
Yep. So, as you're now standing on a mostly flat spot of ice, the tunnel does start to curve off out of sight, out of the light of the lantern, round to round a corner, just obscuring your view of what lies ahead.
Okay,
How do
well,
you want to proceed?
I think we agreed last time that the rest of the people that have rope,
Would all
uh,
tie it
we're gonna
together?
we're gonna tie it together and then use it to, because I'm assuming because even though it's flat, it's still quite slippery.
It is
Like
pretty slippy, yeah.
to just walk on normally,
So do you want to take
or
everybody's rope?
yeah, we'll take it.
Okay, let me just open up all the wee sheets here.
We'll just like sort of go along and then sort of put a pin or in or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
bang it into the ice. Okay, so you wouldn't have used your rope. And then I believe, I think was it Abom that gave you more rope to make it into 100 feet?
it was I'm not giving me more rope.
Okay, so Abom give you his rope. Abom does have another 50 feet of rope on top of that. Uh, Mackay, do you
We'll
want to
we'll
use
let
your
him, we'll
rope?
let him keep that in case he has any smart ideas about it, throwing any more
Yeah.
harpoon.
Do you want to use your 50 foot of silk rope, Mackay?
Um,
Did he not use his already to get down here
I
in the
think I've
first place,
used mine for the massive conjoined yoke
or was
Well,
that me?
we're doing.
it was either Carrick or Abom. One of them used 50, and then you used
I
your
think it was
50.
me. I think it was me.
Yeah.
So either way, if Abom gives up half of the rope he has, each of the crossmen has 30 foot of rope, and then Nathan also has 30. So that would give you 170 feet of rope if you tied all of that together, like extra on top of the
I
100 you already have.
Oh yeah, tie that crap together.
Okay, that's 170 foot of rope.
That is a lot of rope.
I tell you, if we don't know how to tie a knot by now, then we should just quit the game.
Well, you don't really have anything that's like pushing you to tie the knot quickly, so you can tie a pretty good
Mm.
knot.
Two granny knots on the ground.
So are you ready to push forward into
Yes,
the frozen lair of the beast?
we shall push forward and using the pittance. I think the 5 I have left.
Yes.
Oh,
Airborne has a couple as well.
I don't like that, Andre. I
Map
don't like the way I don't like
change.
the way you've just loaded
Hey,
a map.
you're in
I
the
don't
lair
like it.
now.
I like it because I can visualize things now.
Okay, so to make things easy, we'll say from the very edge here, this edge of the map, you'll have 150 foot of rope from there, using the 20 of the 170 to get to that point. This is
Wait a
you
minute.
just went
Wait a
round the
minute.
corner.
Oh god! I need to zoom out.
Yes, you're right there at the bottom. But you like just came around this corner. I'm assuming you're keeping your lantern lit.
Yep.
Okay, I shall reveal everything else you would be able to see. So as you're coming around the corner, are you being as stealthy and quiet as you can be? Or how are you like approaching this?
I'd say we're probably relaxed for now.
We're
So
probably
Carrick is
cautious,
relaxed.
but we're not really stealthing it because to our knowledge, there can't really be anything here. Like in my thinking, that the dragon's not here, so what the fuck else could be in here?
Okay. Are you
How high
bringing
would you have to
are you
roll to
bringing
do
the
an
other
animal
people with you?
handling on a dragon?
Well, maybe send. How many companions is there?
Got 3 crosswomen and Nathan.
We'll send one of the crossbowmen to keep a watch on the dragon coming back.
Okay, so one of them is keeping the watch. I'll put him over here, and then bring in the other ones with you.
Yeah.
I'll just put them down here behind the rest of the group. Okay, so as you're...
I'm assuming Nathan's the bowman.
Yeah, Nathan's the archer.
Does he actually use a bow?
He does have a bow. So as you're making your way around the corner
Wait a minute.
of the tunnel, just hold on and listen. As your lantern light is sparkling along the walls, picking up gems and coins throughout the tunnel, you do see what looks to be a large, clearer patch in the ice, and vaguely through it, you do see 2 figures on the other side of the ice.
What?
So right, there's like a wall of ice.
Yes, a wall of some very transparent, almost glass-like ice, and you can see 2 figures on the other side.
So he's got 2 prisoners.
Now, what do you want to do? Everyone's
Um,
slowly walking their way in.
I suppose we'll just kind of advance towards them. Don't think we
Advance
can
towards
really,
them and see if they're alive.
can't really do us much harm, like so.
Where's
So
the mouse?
everyone's gonna make their way up to them.
Yep.
Yo, what's up?
Roll some perception checks.
Perception.
Okay, nice.
Off to a good start. See how
So-
long that lasts.
The ice isn't fully perfect, so it's still hard to get a good look through. The shapes are distorted. But from what you could tell, there's a cut-in in the ice and rock wall that seems as though it is completely encased and full of ice. That has been
Okay,
left
solid.
that has been left clearer and more visible than the rest. And inside you see the shapes of 2 people. Definitely humanoid, human-sized. It's hard to tell if they're humans, elves, or what race. But they definitely seem to be 2 heroes that are frozen in scenes of combat and battle and have been encased inside this wall.
Excellent.
The
We'll get-
hell.
We will get A-Bomb to open this lovely little clear bit of ice, maybe. With his massive strength.
It's like, gotta look those bodies.
What do they have?
So you want to get A-Bomb to try and break open the ice?
Oh, why not? He's here,
Okay.
he's here for entertainment purposes.
Sure.
Good luck.
Get A-Bomb to start smashing it down. So
Oh,
he laughs.
fine hit.
He just goes, "Ah, small pointy ears weak." And just starts swinging his maul. into the ice. You hear a large shattering crack as cracks start to spread out across the surface, maybe about 3 or 4 feet from the impact. But this is a solid chunk of ice that's probably like
Oh, it's solid
5 to 10 foot deep, maybe in some areas. And some shards and like ice, like dust, starts to fall out. But it's gonna take him a long time to beat his way through the ice. But it would be
I
possible
thought
with
it was
a good few swings.
Um,
gonna be a lot of hammering.
well, good luck with that.
Do you
Yeah.
want him to keep proceeding?
No, it'll take us like 2 days to get through that probably.
Well, if he hits it
So-
hard enough, you've gotta actually roll. Both of you roll survival checks to do a rough idea of
Nope.
how thick you think. Oh my god.
It's
Guys,
the
it goes
thickest-
for miles.
It's the thickest ice I've ever seen.
God.
What are you on about?
So-
Sure, another wee fist bump and she'll break open the bar.
Airborne decides, he's gonna take another swing at it.
Nope.
It's ice, it doesn't move, it's very easy
Yeah.
to hit.
Oh,
So-
wait.
So Airborne slams the small one again, and you see that maybe about 6 inches or so of the outer layer of ice where he's hitting has like collapsed down
Ooh.
from the impact.
Hmm. Now I'm interested. Hit it again!
Do you want him to keep going?
Give
Again.
it the big boom!
I'll make him just do 2 this time. Both of those hit because it's ice. So he smacks it again, and the area he's hitting, there's now maybe about a foot deep hole from his impacts that he's banged into the ice. And
2
it's
foot
like,
deep hole. Good grief.
it's like 3 or 4 feet to get to these people. But it would be possible to break your way through.
Right, well. Airborne can keep doing that if he wants, or he can try to come with us. I want to advance through
So-
and.
Before you start advancing, you'll need to roll a perception check.
Yeah, lad. Get wrecked.
Oh god!
So
I see nothing.
it's
My eyes are frozen over.
no, it's just hard to really see anything that seems out of the ordinary in this current stretch in front of you. It just seems to be the same kind of tunnel as the rest. Glistening sparkles of gems in the
I'm
lantern
too,
light.
I'm too distracted with all the shiny things.
And the echoing crack of ice breaking as Ebom just keeps hammering away at the ice, battering it
Um,
down.
You know, saying that he's doing this, it's like, the stalactites above us aren't shaking or anything.
Not that you can notice. Doesn't seem to be having any effect.
That's good.
Is Carrick gonna stay with Ebom or continue down the tunnel?
No, I'm gonna supervise. I'm just gonna let him continue. I'll
Okay.
tell the other Longbodies,
One of the crossmen
keep on
has like
going.
stopped to kind of keep watch down the tunnel, but Nathan and the other crossmen are going to start continuing along with Varric. So how far do you want to keep walking?
I'll just follow Nathan at this point.
Okay. Nathan, he's taking it slow. He's kind of got his hand up as he tries to listen out, see if he can hear anything or spot anything different in the cave. But the banging of Ebon on the ice, you can just hear it like bouncing off the walls, echoing like almost infinitely as the sound just bounces around the room. Looks around like, let's keep going. Leave these two to their work. I start trying to creep forward. So, you get a decent bit down the tunnel when not far in front of you, there's another turn and corner that you see, and you see a small head poking around it, but then suddenly dart back into the darkness before you really get a good look at it.
Time.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There is another discolored patch of ice to your left further down the tunnel, but this one seems harder to see through. There doesn't look to be anything clearly that you can see on the other side. You can see Nathan, he's getting his bow ready. Crossman's loading up bolts.
I'm gonna draw my swords as well.
Okay. What do you want to do next?
Tark,
Eh?
get a bomb up here. We're not alone in this cave.
Ooh.
So, at this point, Airbomb's probably about halfway through the ice to this first figure closest to the bottom. You can see he's starting to pant as he's whacking it as hard as he can into this ice.
That's because he's a
Hey,
fan.
Bob! Stop what you're doing.
Like,
We have okay, Lisa. Well, we
I want to
we have
smash the
contact ahead.
Iceman.
Smash later. Smash enemies first.
Kind of snarls at you and grumbles something into his breath before moving along to catch up with everybody else. So you're gonna,
Yeet.
are you moving to the ice wall that is slightly different but hard to see through?
Yes, yes,
Roll perception to try and look through it because it is very foggy. Looking through it, there's definitely something on the other side, but it's hard to really see through it.
I would also like to look through this opaque stuff.
You roll your perception.
Where is... Ha!
Okay, so this portion of ice is a lot foggier and it doesn't seem to be solid all the way through. There just seems to be maybe about 6 inches to a foot of ice blocking this portion of the tunnel. But there is something on the other side and you can see somewhat of a light on the other side.
A light.
Though, while you're looking, you do hear the scrabble of claws on ice behind you. And you personally, as Carrick, need to make a dexterity save.
God damn it.
That's what you get for being the furthest out.
So, as you hear this scrabbling, you duck out of the way as a kobold just came sliding across the ice, tried to take a swing for you, and then bumps into the wall next to you.
Well, oh, so the kobold was trying to power slide and he couldn't do it.
He took a run for you, but it's very slippery ice, so he just went with the slide of his momentum and tried to take a swing for you as he went, but he missed.
Moron.
But we'll roll some initiative and then use that for the rest of the cave
Forest
to make sure.
misty.
I
Oh,
will
gee, there's
do it.
3 good rolls. Good God, that's not gonna happen again.
Oh, yeah.
Which one of you wants to go
damn,
first?
diggity-dang.
I will let Kark first in. He was attacked first.
Yay.
Do Ebon. Okay. So our order is Carrick, Barrick, the enemies, Ebon, and then all of your allies. We're going last. So this one little kobold has scuttered across, took a swing for you and missed. What do you want to do next? Now that he's tried to strike at you.
Well, looks like we're in a bit of a pickle here, Sunshine.
So you pull out your sword, hack at him, roll your attack or roll your damage. So
That's
your blade, like
4.
as he's mid sliding past you, just as you're drawing your blade, take a strike, and he just slides into the blade, slicing across his chest, so blood splatters all over the ice wall that he then slams into and collapses down, as he is now dead. You still have a bonus action and your movement.
Ho.
What did you say about the whip again? I could do it, but it'd be disadvantaged on an offhand.
Yes.
Frig it, worth it.
Okay. So you get a. You would
What
need
the
to be.
shit up,
You would
Echo?
need to be 10 feet away, so you need to move a little bit
Oh,
closer.
Okay. Where's
Maybe
the
he's using
ruler?
it for intimidation.
No, I actually wanted to like whip him a bit. There we go.
Okay, so you take a couple steps forward on the ice, pull out the whip in your left hand, strike out at him, roll the damage.
Bitch.
You
Ooh.
dirt.
Damn,
Ooh.
max
That's
damage.
a max.
So
That's a
as you
max.
swing out the whip, it just catches round his neck, and you can see it go tight as you pull back, and just snap the kobold's neck as it drops onto the ground. His head just limply
Victory!
hanging there.
If
Has
you ever
been mine.
complain about damage gain, Macaulay. Calling
What do
you
you
out.
say? It'll be 3s the rest of the night, lad. What do you say?
Next, we've got Beric. What do you want to do on your turn?
Just gonna casually walk up to the side of Carrick, look at the kobold's corpse, nudge him in
And?
the shoulder and be like, leave some for the rest of us, jackass.
They're not really a challenge at this point, let's be honest.
I'm just gonna walk around the corner, you know.
So as you're moving around the corner, you see another wall of
wall.
ice blocking the path in this direction. This one seems to be similar to the one behind you, that it's not solid all the way through. It seems it's just a wall somewhere between 6 inches and a foot thick.
Hey, Bob.
Everyone
Get
just
breaking
starts
through.
lumbering up behind you. Where's the Scalies? I want to smash.
Scalies might be behind that wall. Break it down.
So he comes up mid-step, swinging his maul down onto the wall, barely hitting as he almost slips on his ass. And you can see it crack, but it hasn't given just yet.
Perfect. Heck.
Just to speed it up a bit, we'll have him go again. He smacks it again. The cracks run out all across the length, but it hasn't fallen just yet, so it looks one more hit will probably shatter it down.
Can I drop kick it?
Yeah, that would be a strength roll for your kick.
Okay, you're
Straight
gonna
up
try and
strength.
drop kick ice? Oh god. Oh, you're gonna have a sore
So,
arse in the morning.
you see, Evon has almost shattered the wall down. You take a couple steps back, go in for a drop kick. Mid attempt, you slip, fall onto your ass, and your momentum carries you into the wall, or you just
Hopefully.
bang into it ass first. And just for the sake of it, roll a d4 and we'll half whatever the total is. Okay, so
1.5.
so that would be 2. So you slide up, crashing into it with your ass, your legs, just slamming into the wall, and the portion that you hit crumples through, and you partially slide through this bottom corner, but you also take 2 damage in the process,
Ah, damn it.
as a couple of shards of ice drop onto you, some of the sharper ones digging into your skin. But that small corner, maybe like a 2-foot by 2-foot hole, has been opened up, revealing to
that?
you more of the tunnel. So as you get a look into what else lies ahead, to your right, you see
God, it's
another
more
solid cut into the rock and ice, where you see a couple figures again
Is that a dwarf?
locked in combat. Yes, there actually is a armored dwarf in some very battered armor, mid-swing with a mace.
He's
And
got
beside
a
him, this time you see an elf with a bow.
Oh,
It's
As
Gimli and Legolas!
as
No!
they look to be fully encased within this ice.
Oh. The bromance is dead.
What do you want to do next?
I suppose, you know,
Or
I'll
what does
just
anyone
yeah,
else want to
definitely.
do?
I kind of just climb up and be like, take a wee quick look there, and then be like, shuffle around and take a wee peek around this corner, I think.
peek long and
So,
It's clear so far.
so is everyone following along?
yeet.
So Aebom
Yeah.
just knocks down the rest of the wall. It only had one more health after your slide attempt. So he just kind of pushes through it after you. So you keep going around the next bend.
Yep.
As the firelight
What
is that what?
What the Is that a mountain lion?
So as you get a first look before anyone else comes around, you see down the tunnel the snarling open jaws of a large saber tooth, similar to the ones you found in the forest, that are like almost pressed right up against the glass as its fangs are out, claws outstretched, ready to attack. Getting
This place
closer.
literally has got a museum.
Getting closer, and as everyone else arrives, you see that there are actually two, both in poses of combat, as they're seeming as though they're ready to fight. Do you keep pressing onward?
Yeah. Well, at least if we all die in here, at least we'll, you know, be frozen in time forever.
Just keep yourself down at the lines for now, so I can reveal more and know how far to put the light.
Might make it to the third age.
Like back here, where you were looking at them. So I can do this. So as you start, after looking at the lines
Oh,
and you
another
glance to
dwarf?
your left,
What the fuck?
you see a large, hulking creature encased in the ice, about the size of Aebom, covered in furs and the pelts of animals, wielding a shield and a large axe in one hand, mid-swing. It seems as though it's almost close to the edge of the ice and breaking through.
Hey,
Do
Mom.
you want to roll some perception?
I found your brother over here. No, I'm good. I don't need the perception.
I
Okay.
will. Nope.
Can't really gain any more than it's just a large guy wearing furs. Gonna keep pushing forward even more.
Oh yeah, just power on the frig.
So as you're
Everyone-
getting to just below here,
Oh god.
Oh.
I moved.
Saladin. I guess as you're getting up close to the orc itself, you see another figure pop around the corner,
Oh, fuck.
Pussy ass bitch.
and an arrow comes flying through, catching Beric in the shoulder, just before the figure pops back into the darkness out of view, dealing you 4 points of damage.
Fuck that kobold and everyone that lives in his cave.
Indeed. Sneaky little shits. So we're gonna go back to the initiative order, since there is combat about to happen. So, Carrick is first. What are you going to do as you just saw an arrow
I was-
fly through?
I was here so I can move to just about here. So that is what I will do.
You're gonna move your full 30 feet.
I'm gonna move my full 30.
Make a dexterity save.
Is he peeking me?
No, just make a dexterity save.
Traps.
Nope, not traps. But
The
As-
orc just
as you're
breaks out of
starting-
the ice.
as you're starting to move along at a faster, more rushed pace now that combat's beginning, you get a feeling that at a faster pace like this, it's a lot easier to slip and slide than it is when you're taking your time and walking nice and slowly through the cave.
Ah,
Matters
damn.
not.
So, if you move over half of your movement, which is 15 feet upwards, you'll need to make a dexterity save. If you fail, you fall on your ass and slide that direction until you hit the nearest wall and stop.
Ooh, that could be an advantage.
Yes, you can give in to the slide if you want, but that is up to you.
Awkward slide.
So, like, if you wanted to move, say, your full 30 feet, you would then slide, move that 30 feet, but at the start of your next turn, you need to make another save to get back up, or you keep sliding that direction and cannot stop. And that'll keep going on the more saves you fail,
Okay.
until you hit a wall, and then you can get back up again. So the ice is dangerous,
Mm.
but I'll move the group all up to where they would have been roughly standing.
No shit.
So what do you want to do now as I reveal to you all that you would see in a second? So, while you're rushing up, noticing how slippy this terrain actually is, the first thing you get a look at is what looks to be two
Oh, God.
more of these fur-clad figures encased in the ice, as well as a large, hulking beast just within its icy grip.
They have a cave troll.
That is
Uh.
exactly what it is. It is a troll. Quite a
Hey,
large
Mom.
troll.
Hey, Bum, you and the other crossbowmen go back the way we came and break through that other wall of ice that was back there.
Okay, on their turn, they will do that.
I am just going to.
Oh, Mackay, do you want to try and shoot this partially obscured kobold?
Am I allowed to?
Yes, you can. You have the sharpshooter feat, so you ignore cover. So as long as you can partially see
Ah.
anything, you can hit it.
Shit.
Though, this time it seems to be just too much.
That was a
The
3.
kobold, mostly obscured, you take the shot, and you see him just stuck out of the way as the arrow streaks off into the icy wall on the other side.
Son of a bitch.
I'm going to use my full 30 feet to move here.
Yes, make your dexterity
my-
save.
With my dexterity. save.
Dexterity. Oh,
So-
Oh, I'm sliding.
As
boy.
you go to take the step, you get a couple steps in
Like a
slip.
man.
and end up sliding up to where you would have wanted to get, but you're now sliding like on your back and ass, and on
Okay.
your next turn you'll have to make your save to get up or keep sliding into the ice wall in front of you.
Nice.
Is there anything you'd like to try and do on your turn?
While sliding.
Yes, you just count as prone while you're sliding, so you could try and throw something, but you'll be at
I throw my
disadvantage.
dagger at this.
You
this
could,
building.
but you'll be at disadvantage since you're sliding on
Ah.
the ground. But you can always try.
No worries. No. Damn it.
So as you're sliding along, precariously along the ground, you daringly try to take a chuck with your dagger at the kobold, but you see it fly by and scatter across the ice into the back corner of the cave. Almost hitting them though, it was pretty close. But as you're mid-slide, you see one of the kobolds, one of his shield, moves to almost try and intercept where you're going to be, and looks like he's getting ready for when you get close. He'll then strike you upon sliding any closer to him. The other kobold moves across the room, up against the wall, and shoots over at Carrick. Though
Each.
you see the arrow fly across and maybe go wide by about 2 or 3 feet and just clatter into the ice wall behind you. Meanwhile, A-Bomb and the Crossmen are making their way back this way. We'll just assume they either passed or failed. They're about there. And Nathan has not yet realized the precariousness of moving fast and tries to catch up as best he can. And wobbles a bit, but keeps his footing. Shooting across at the kobold archer in the back. Trying his best to hit the little shit. Though the kobold seems to just duck out of the way of the arrow. Almost getting hit. Though
Are the kobolds any good at moving on the ice?
it seems as though they find it a bit easier since they have claws. But they're definitely taking it slow.
Okay.
So they're not much better off than you. But now we're back to Beric.
Well,
Or no, Carrick. Because Carrick is first, then Beric.
I'm gonna try to hit the archer.
Okay.
Move a wee bit. Beacon.
Make your attack.
Ooh, I can't remember if 13 good enough or not for
That is just enough to hit the archer.
damage. Oh! 5, literally a 2, but we'll
So
take
as
it.
your arrow flies
Another
through,
2 out of 8.
soaring over Beric, past the kobold in the way, you see it drop down slightly and dig into the stomach of the kobold as he doubles over. Slums down onto the ice, a small pool of blood starting to spill out over the frozen ground beneath him.
You think you could deceive me, Barrel Rider?
Would you like to try and do anything else before your turn ends?
Nah. Be alright.
Okay. Now we're at Beric. You need your
Alright.
dexterity save first, and then
can I continue to slide a bit more and then use my dexterity save to get up at a certain point?
if you want, if you pass your dexterity save now, you can just move like normal without slipping and falling. So
But it would look cooler.
you can do that, and like if you pass it, you can slide as far as you want and then get up wherever you want.
Hey.
So how much further do you want to slide?
Wanna slide, but the 10 foot, and then kind of slide past the kobold, and then just as I slide past him, get to my feet, and then hit him in the back with my sword.
So as you're sliding up to the kobold has been waiting and has readied his action for you to get in melee range and stabs out at you mid-slide.
Oh, please miss.
But you see the spear pierces into the ice just in front of you. He must have been too eager, hit the ground, and he loses the grasp on the spear, falls forward and hits off it, falling back onto his own back onto the
What a
ground.
dumbass.
He rolled a 1.
What a dumbass.
So he has stabbed the ground and pretty much slipped and fell on his back.
Well, I guess.
So he is now prone. That'll give you advantage on your attacks.
Well, sayonara, good night.
Roll with advantage just in case you get a critical hit. Ah, not yet. So as you mid-slide, get yourself up and just stab down into him. He's on the ground, he can't really go anywhere, and your blade just plunges down into his chest, straight between his ribs.
Both blades.
You don't even need both blades.
I
Like,
know, but
you
I
gonna do
like
it
the
anyway?
overkill.
So here's having both blades down, one through each like side of the rib cage on this poor kobold. You see its hand grasp up towards you and then fall limp as the blood spills out across the icy floor beneath. You now get a
Nice.
good look through this ice to your right, though, and you get a better look at the two smaller figures who seem to be fur-clad orcs that are standing in very aggressive poses, like they were mid-combat when they were frozen. Same with the large hulking beast that must be some sort of
Literally.
ogre, troll, or giant. It's like mid-swing with its club, frozen and encased in ice.
How many things have fucking tried to kill this fucking ice cunt?
It's a good question.
We're literally gonna turn into a popsicle. And might thaw in the third age when, I don't know, global warming eventually happens.
So with the kobolds,
What is this global warming you speak of?
okay, so Abomin, the trusty crosswoman, you hear the echo of Abom's maw slam into the icy wall behind, and the cracking, shattering sound of ice, though it's hard to tell if he's actually broke fully through or not. What you just want to do, there's another ice wall in front of you the way you were heading.
Hmm.
Oh, well, just better on.
I am gonna wait for Nathan to catch up, and we
Doesn't take
shall
Nathan
advance
too long.
together.
Do you want to just advance up to this ice wall altogether?
Yep.
Yes, can
Okay.
we see through it?
Roll perception.
Oh, I've rolled the wrong dice.
That was performance.
I know how I had perception there,
A
sorry.
terrible performance it was.
Yeah.
It was indeed.
You made a fool of yourself.
He's pissed himself.
But
Oh no.
the
What
ice
have I done?
here is very thick. It seems this ice must be about a foot or so thick. In a good solid portion, pretty much the whole thing seems about a foot thick. And trying your best to look through it, you can't really see much other than it looks as though it might be a larger opening than the current tunnel you're in. But beyond that, through this foggier portion of ice, it's hard to really tell what's through there. Since your lantern light doesn't really pierce through. And the other side is pitch dark. So maybe you would
Well.
maybe be able to see. Let me see here. Nope, that was. Yeah, what was that? Close enough. You would maybe be able to see about that much. And it does look like it's starting to open up, but beyond that, you can't really see anything.
Okay.
You do hear another loud echoing crack as the maul of Ebom yet again
I'm
smashes
assuming,
into
by
the
the way,
ice.
I lifted up my dagger wherever it slid off to.
Yeah, it would be around where you are at the minute.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm just gonna use the pommel of my sword to try to break through this ice.
As you're getting ready to strike at the ice after hearing the shattering crack of Ebom's maul, you hear a loud bellowing, "Die, Scalies!" and the crushing of ice underfoot.
Oh dear.
And Ebom would be now obscured from view.
Rather interesting.
How do you want to proceed here?
I'm still gonna try to break this ice through with my
Okay. Roll your attack. It's almost impossible for you to miss. Okay. Roll your damage. Okay. You get a nice crack into it, but the ice is still holding firm and solid.
Kark,
Yes.
anytime today.
Right. How else am I gonna break down an ice wall?
You see Nathan's pulled out 2 daggers, one in each hand, and he's starting to beat into it as hard as he can as well. Though,
Oh well.
though the
we'll
daggers
just join
don't
in.
seem to be as effective as anything
Sword.
else. Though the bellowing further down the cave does seem to be getting louder as you hear the "Rah! Rah! Rah!" of Ebom clearly blindly swinging about his maul
He'd be
trying to
alright.
kill something.
You'd be alright. Probably only 2 of them. I will try and hack this shitty wall down.
Okay, roll your damage.
That and then dagger. Oh dear. I just physically cannot grip the dagger.
So
Physically cannot
well,
grip it.
as you pull your dagger, are you going with the blade or with the pommel?
It's gonna do the pommel. Try and smash it.
So you smash into the ice in one of the weaker spots. You do break through with the dagger, but you get your hand, like your hand goes with the dagger through the hole, getting cut across the edge. It's not enough to do any damage, but enough to make you drop your dagger on the other side of the ice.
Ah.
You trash.
God
So,
damn it.
what do you want to do next?
Well, can I hit it again?
You can. It's pretty close to going down, so a couple more strikes would probably take it out. That is enough to hit. It's only a 5 to hit.
I think
Oh. Do you want to go with your offhand as well? Kind of double
might as
smash
well, you know. Might as well give it that
it.
oh,
Double max damage.
damn,
So
I
as
really...
as the whole group is beating on this ice wall, you manage to fully collapse it down, and it gives you.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Are you going to enter the room?
Oh yes. Charge forth.
Okay. So now that you have entered the room, you see it is a large, mostly circular room, and on the bottom side, you
Does that
see.
go?
Well, just hold on. On the bottom side, around this area here, you see a large raised section of ice that's maybe about 15 feet off the ground of the rest of
Oh god, it's the boss room!
the floor, and you do see small piles of golden gems in certain corners of the room, scattered across the ground. But the ceiling,
Not nice.
not these ones, but there's not that much not nice. It's just like scatterings of coins that seem probably freshly brought back. But the ceilings, the walls, the floor in this area, you thought the sight in the tunnel was beautiful. But it has just been dwarfed by the majesty of this room. Your light spilling into the room would normally not spread that as far or as brightly as it does now, where the lantern light sparkles off every gem, every coin, almost lighting up the entire room like some sort of royal ball.
Yes, want all of it.
Fill the bag. Fill the whole friggin' bag.
So
You
you're,
are now
s-
encumbered.
so you're starting to pile stuff into a.
Oh yeah, just bail it in.
Okay. So we'll just keep note that you're grabbing money and throwing it into your bag. And then when it is
What do
all
you want,
done,
Tuna?
depending on what happens, we will see how much you get.
Then you hear breathing behind you. What are you doing, thief? Oh,
Where are you? Where are you?
I can hear your breath.
So now that I'm assuming everyone's in the room and collecting as much gold as you can carry.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Dead on.
I
So-
got my dagger back. I need my dagger that I dropped on the
Yeah,
other side of the
it's
wall.
easy enough to pick up. So as you're collecting as much gold as you can carry, you still hear the echoing battle cry of Ebom further down the tunnel. Slightly fainter as you're now further away, but the battle cry
People fan.
does still rage on.
I killed me ground. Sure, he's a tank.
I'm actually doing this combat while you're talking to see what happens. Oh, that was a good wee go there. So now that you've entered this main portion of the ice cave, what are you doing next? Like, what are you doing now as you're piling gold into your bags?
Just me?
Either of you, like,
Oh, dead ass. Pick up the gold.
oh, you're picking
Some
up gold,
jewels.
but what else are you doing? Are you saying anything? Or are you literally just spending all your time at the minute to gather gold and
Assuming
nothing
Jacob,
else?
or sorry, Eric is, because he's self-consumed by gold.
Well, you
Oh,
both
yeah.
are.
I'm just bailing that shit into the bag.
Okay. So both of you just keep pouring it in. There's nothing else you want to do after you've filled your bag with gold. Doesn't take that long. You've got a lot of shit in there.
What's going on here?
That is a very thick ice wall that looks different from the rest, but it's completely clouded and almost white.
And here?
Same thing. All three of those blue spots are the same. They're just
Oh God,
patches
right.
of wall that do look different from the rest, but nothing super major. You can't see through them like the other areas.
How are we gonna kill this cunt?
You see Nathan, who's now filled his bag. He's kind of brushing himself down, basic. Now that's the winning question. How do we kill this flying frozen bastard?
What's the ceiling like in this room?
Still
Same
full
as
of
the rest of the
stalagmites,
cave?
like the rest of the tunnel in. The whole tunnel that you've been through all the way in is full of stalactites, well not stalactites, but like giant icicles that are in varying sizes, some extremely large, some smaller than others.
I say we're probably gonna need some kind of an ambush here. No way we can take it head on. We need the
See
element of
Nathan
surprise.
nodding. Got any suggestions of what to do?
The layout of this cave is somewhat complex, but we might be able to do something to draw him in close, pin him down, restrict his movement, hit him from all sides.
It's a good plan. Good idea at least. Good start. Not sure where to go from there though.
But first, probably need to find A-bomb. I have a rough idea in my head, but require him to blow up some walls.
Yes, and nodding again. Yeah, I can still hear him screaming down that tunnel, and you can still hear Evam going, "Rah! Rah! Rah!" And the shattering of some ice, the screams of Evam.
How long would it take me to go all the way around to there?
Not super long,
6
But it-
turns?
but
5?
so let's see. That'll be like 1,
That's a lot of dexterity saving throws.
4,
Suppose I could sprint, but that's dicey.
6, 7, 8. It would take you like 10 turns of moving slowly with no slipping to get to that spot. If you didn't give a shit, you could get there in 5. If you really didn't give a shit, you could get there in like 2.5.
5 or 2.5, that is the question. I'll do it in 3.
Okay,
Is that
so
allowed?
it's not gonna take you super long to get there because 3 turns, it's only like 18-20 seconds.
3 dexterity saving throws?
Yep,
Do this in
just-
order.
Just roll 3 up and we'll see how far.
Oh,
Oh,
first one's terrible. And the oh god, look at that.
So-
two ones.
that would pretty much just be you slide to there, you're able to get up, and
And then slide
to
all
there,
the way down to there.
and then slide to here. So
Ow, ow, ow.
you would be sliding to there, and as you slid by, it would give you a view back in to that area, and you would see the mid-swing A-bomb fighting a fur-covered kobold wielding a staff.
A staff, you say?
Wielding a staff.
Wait a minute, it's not the same Bodhi that disappeared, or can I not tell? That you know in the cave we were in earlier?
Yeah, roll perception.
Perception! Same Bodhi?
It is indeed the kobold that escaped the collapsing
What
cave room.
opinion?
And you can hear him like snarling to A-bomb now that you've got closer down the tunnel. I'll kill you for my master. I'll gain his favor. You stand no chance against me. And you see his form shift and shape into a larger looking lizard. The kobold does look like he's quite injured, but A-bomb does have a few cuts and scratches on him as well. Definitely took a small beating in this short combat that's been going on. And
I'm sure that man doesn't even feel it.
you see that the kobold now shifted into a larger beast-like shape, reaches out its jaws, clamping onto A-bomb, one of A-bomb's arms, as he
Okay.
shouts out in pain, going, "Ah!" Then the kobold's lizard-like claws slash across his stomach. As he screams out again, and you can see blood dripping down onto the ground. What do you want to do? You can hear the loading of a crossbow, and see A-bomb getting ready to come in for a swing.
If it's me, we'll move to here and carefully hot shot him.
So
Here
you're
we go.
taking a shot at the lizard-formed kobold.
Yes.
That is a hit.
Ah, shitty 4, man.
So your arrow
Only 1.
strikes into the lizard-like form, catching in its back area. It snarls, flicking out its almost snake-like tongue in your direction.
Bitch.
As the crosswoman takes a shot for it. Misses as he's trying to shoot past A-bomb without hitting him. Air-bomb. Actually, I could start rolling for actual air-bomb off his sheet now. You can see what's going on. Air-bomb brings down his maw, trying to crush it, and you see its nearly shaped lizard form duck out of the way of the maw strike as it cracks and shatters the ice beneath its feet. And then this lizard form is still gripping on to one of Abrahams' arms. You can see it start thrashing its head and swinging out some of its claws as it starts hacking into Airborne with all of its might and fury, determined to kill the hulking half-orc for its master. And Airborne is definitely, like, you can see his legs weaken and shake slightly as his arm is torn into by large serpentine jaws. Claws slash across his chest, scattering blood across the walls. You would get the feeling he's definitely in the lower portion of life and vitality right now.
Uh-oh.
As he's been 1v1ing, well, 1v3ing the kobolds plus this kobold shaman, who is no pushover. He has improved since the last time you met him. Determined to kill you this time.
What a bitch.
A bitch indeed. Is Barrack still stuffing his bag full of gold?
Oh yeah. There's no other priority right now.
So you're just trying to get every single loose coin on the ground, and they're very cold. Like, as you pick them up, you feel as though your fingers are going to get frostbite from holding just each coin as you stuff them into your bag.
Worth it!
Nathan's in the center of the room just analysing around, seeing the lay of the room and how things look. But, Mackay, what are you going to do next?
Yes.
As this giant lizard form is laying into Airbomb with all it's got.
I'm probably gonna shout down the tunnel. May need some help here.
And then what are you going to do?
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay. That is a hit.
4 out of 8.
So you shoot out at the kobold's lizard form again, this time your arrow catching in between its ribs. You see the form start to shimmer slightly, but it does hold and the kobold is ready to keep going. The crossman fires in with his crossbow as the lizard form just slides out of the way, still prepared to hold on and tear up Ebom's arm. And Ebom, see him bring up his giant maw, try to bring it down onto this shape-shifted kobold, but he can't get a hit. He just smashes the ice right next to it for not the second time you've seen, but it's probably happened a couple times at this point.
Question.
Yes.
Why the fuck is that other crossbowman not coming over to help?
I'm just leaving him there as like he's further down here,
Alright.
watching for the dragon with this
It's
other
gonna be
guy.
like, is he just standing there, just be like, I see nothing.
I'll put
la,
them
la.
further down here. They would be like way down the tunnel. He went back with the second one since it seemed you guys had everything under control when you started fucking up kobolds in like one hit. So they're back a bit, keeping an eye out for the dragon. So it's not one man. So if he dies, the second one could scream out that there's incoming danger.
Unless
But,
they both get frozen at the same time.
Or that. But back to the fight. Carrick you're watching in almost horror as you see this lizard form kobold let go of Ebom's arm and just leap onto his chest, trying to knock him to the ground. And and you see Airborne slip on the ice, fall onto his back, sliding back slightly, and the lizard creature lands straight onto his chest and go in for a bite for the neck, barely missing, grabbing into the shoulder and raking its teeth across, blood splattering onto the floor.
Oh god.
As Airborne is now wrestling on his back, trying to grapple with it.
I'm raging.
He is raging. He is
Oh
in a
God.
mindless fury, just screaming.
I really don't want to get into melee with this thing because I don't even
Well,
know
what do you want to
what
do?
else to be.
It's your turn again.
Move closer and shoot again!
So you fire another shot.
Hold on. 15. That brings me about. And we'll see. Is this other crossbowman actively shooting as well?
He is shooting every
Thank you.
turn. He has missed every shot since you've arrived, but there were bolts in the kobold before it transformed.
Useless whack.
He's actually hit it like a couple times and done more damage than Airborne has done so far.
Bastard.
And while this kobold is on Airbomb's chest, you are trying to get a good shot at it, but you see Airbomb's arms like flailing, almost blocking your view, making you shoot slightly high as you try and miss Airbomb's giant, meaty, flailing arms in the air. Crossman shoots in, gets a hit, and as this bolt flies through, pierces into its chest, you see the form shimmer, and then with a greenish poof of smoke, the kobold's form drops back down on top of Airborne. In its normal, just over 3 foot tall kobold size. Airborne, still infuriated and enraged, just tries to grab it by the neck and chuck it into the wall. Because why not? But the kobold is hurt but nimble of foot, rolls off of him out of the grasp of his giant meaty hands and beats him with his stick. Because it's now Mr. Kobold's turn. But hits Airborne on the head with his stick, but Airborne's thick skull protects him. He doesn't get hurt. He's too dense and infuriated right now to do anything. What are you going to do, Mackay? It's your turn again.
Is he trying to run away?
Doesn't seem like it. He's
Why
just
did he
trying to
turn back
dodge
in?
Airborne.
Shoot again!
That is a hit.
Another 7.
So as your arrow
Literally-
sinks its way into the kobold's chest, he staggers back against the wall, trying to hold himself up barely with his little staff, snarling at you. My master will kill you. I might have failed, but he will. As the crosswind just looses a bolt straight into the kobold's neck, and
Live long and suck it.
his sentence is cut short before he is felled by the crossman, eager to get this scourge extinguished. And this whole area around here is just covered and soaked with a thick layer of blood. Airbombs and kobolds. The big guy doesn't look good. He's got cuts, scratches. He's beat up quite well at this point. You can see him breathing heavy as he stands up, leaning on the wall. Scalies. Dead. Smashed. Airbomb needs rest.
Stabilize the wounded. Oh look, there's beds over there that you can
They're
conveniently lie in.
more like just furs and skins scattered on the ground, and two rickety looking chests in the corner.
It would suffice.
So what are you gonna do?
Um,
Is Airbom's like staggering to lean against the wall and catch a breather.
See these retards, like they don't really have much on them
Not really.
anymore. Like
Just
none
like
of
scraps of
This-
clothes and armor.
this staff, however, intrigues me.
It's
I've
like
never seen one with
it's just like a wooden stick, like a staff.
just a wooden stake.
Maybe with like a couple bones tied onto it.
Well,
But
Gandalf
that's
had a
all
wooden
it
stick.
is.
I know how well that turned out. Did he have anything else other than the staff on him?
You can check all the kobolds, but none of the kobolds have anything but scraps of armor,
Useless.
ramshackled looking weapons. Don't seem like they're really carrying anything of value.
Can I do like an analysis on this staff, or is it just a stick?
What are you looking for?
Magical property.
Make an arcana check.
Yeet. No.
You think this staff is magical.
Well, I'm gonna have
You
to take it
are
now.
certain that this kobold staff is what allowed this kobold to change its shape and transform into other animals.
I will become a giant lizard person. That is what will happen. I will take the staff.
I will add this to your inventory.
Excellent. And what are they wearing? Just scraps?
Scraps of like furs and hides.
Is it possible to disguise yourself as one of these retards? And would the dragon believe?
You've only seen a couple that are taller than 3 foot. The biggest one you saw was the one that Beric dueled. And other than that, there haven't really been any larger than like 4 foot tall. You could try it though.
Unlikely. Highly unlikely.
It's always an idea that might be worth a shot. Remember, it is a
Or an
game of
idea-
dice and
or
a
an
game of
idea.
chance.
Or an idea to get me eaten.
Well, you'd get eaten otherwise, so...
Or turn into a popsicle.
Abum agrees with your idea. Abum's like, yeah, I want to be a scaly. And rips the hat off the dead kobold, pretty much tearing its head off
No.
and puts it on his own head.
My,
Oh god.
It's like,
my hat.
am I a scaly Carrick? And like kind of crouches down onto the ground. I'm a scaly. I'm a scaly. Kind of hissing at you and
Alright,
snarling
everyone,
like
you're
that.
gonna
as
need a
it-
bit more than just a hat to make it convincing.
Now, remember, McCoy, one of the things you are decent at is a
It's
disguise.
disguise kits!
What the fuck?
So
Yes!
with
Hello,
with the
master,
tools,
welcome back. Ha
with the tools, like and equipment and stuff, which would be you could try and use these furs to make yourself look like a kobold. You only have an extra +1 to it because your charisma. Well,
Is shit.
because like disguising is part of like deception and you know, performance.
My master has returned.
So it would be like how good is your disguise to the real thing and how accurately you pull it off. So you're not great at it, but you could, in theory, try and make a disguise to make you look like kobolds.
Lethal, let's do it.
So
Should I
shall we
hit
just
the
say
disguise kit here?
that the group is all gathered up together again?
Well, I thought we were at a point where I couldn't carry any more gold. So that's...
Well, your bags, for the length of time you've been gathering gold, your bags would pretty much get filled up.
Okay.
So we'll
So, as
handle
long as
all
we've
that
established
later.
that we have a lot of gold, because
You've
This is-
you've
this is-
gathered
this
about
is
as much as you can collect off the ground.
Excellent. This is my retirement fund, so I can quit this.
So,
Buy a home somewhere.
well, say for ease, this group is all
I
gathered
was gonna
together
search
in
the
the top.
chests as well, but
want
I
to?
doubt there'll be very much in them. Well, just. Oh wait, they'll probably be trapped. Or would they be that intelligent?
Which do you want to look at first, left or
No,
right?
there's no point because whatever's in
Will
there
a
is probably
man, will a
worthless.
man ever learn? Will a man ever learn?
No, no, I don't want to do it because I've already got enough gold in here, so whatever's in there is going to be worthless compared to what's in here. Logic
Okay.
has prevailed.
So you do see, like, while you're looking around this room, the ice is quite deep and thick in the walls, and in some parts it looks as though there might be entire chests and boxes frozen into the walls and floor.
This is the biggest hole I've ever seen.
It is probably the most golden treasure you've ever seen in your life. So, now that the group is all gathered back up again, what does everybody want to do?
Suppose I'll, stop picking gold up and make a battle plan, I guess.
That would be advisable.
I'm probably also advised for A-Bomb to rest because he looks beat up a bit.
He is quite beat up.
Yeah, I'm maybe, tell him to go rest for 15 minutes in the corner. Go sleep on some of that gold over there.
So
Comfy
add all
gold.
that up.
That was not too bad. That's like, what, 27?
He's almost full health.
Well, take it.
Almost. So, what are you gonna do next?
Gentlemen, do we think... should we try to fight the dragon down here? Or should we try to fight it closer to the entrance?
I was thinking sort of in between.
What, so like get it in a choke point somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere in one of the corners maybe, come in from behind. And in front of it if we can.
We could
Pin them down.
maybe like we could maybe use some of the rope to climb up the side of the cliff edge and have rope across the top, so it lowers his flight height.
It's rope though.
It is rope, but he'd have to either waste time trying to get through it, and he'll not be able to move too fast in here, I don't think.
I'm definitely making a disguise kit now. I mean, first time I've ever got to use this. So, maybe the only time. Gotta try
Honestly
it.
think this is gonna work.
Do you wanna
Depends how. Well,
roll to
we
try
can
and make
both agree.
disguises?
We can both agree right here, right now, that this is not the most intelligent dragon.
Okay, right.
So there's a chance, a slim
So-
chance.
What's your plan here with Right, so what you
Here's my
you
plan.
dress up as a kobold and you just walk up to the dragon and say, "Oh, hello, master. Welcome home."
My
You got-
Here is the on plan. I will probably meet the dragon first. We will. Obviously, he's gonna come in here at some point. He's gonna search his cave. I'll meet him somewhere about here. Here. Then I will say to him that I have killed one person, probably A-Bomb. I will lead him down to A-Bomb. A-Bomb's corpse will be about here. But he will be alive. Just fake dead. I don't
Okay.
know if that's a good
Okay.
idea or not. Okay. At that moment, or it could be here or here. We could do it realistically anywhere. At that moment, there will be two in front of him, and maybe someone hiding around this corner. At that moment, there could be three in front of him. If we could hide people in ice piles like here, effectively pin him in this area. An absolute ambush from
we
behind and the
could
front.
could hide people in here maybe.
You could hide people in here. I'm saying it's optional. This is the plan. Our option.
What about the spark bombs? They're gonna be any good.
I say we yeet them at the start of the ambush, and it will rain hell down above him. In the surprise of it all, you might not even know what's happening.
So right, so all of us will take a spark bomb. All of us throw a spark bomb at him during the ambush. Hopefully the icicles will fall down and hit him as well. And then what? We all just rush him and hope we don't get turned into popsicles like them poor cunts down there.
You got a better idea?
No.
I mean,
Nathan.
I'm all ears. I don't want to get turned into a popsicle.
Nathan, what do you think about
Just,
this?
just saying.
Nathan's nodding to himself, like, it might just work. If we're able to get the drop on this dragon and catch him off guard, that might be our only chance of victory.
What if he tries to leave?
I don't know if we can stop him leaving.
No, here's what you do. You just speak to him, saying, "You witless worm." That's it.
Nice.
I did not look to see you so easily outwitted.
I feel like he's maybe too arrogant to maybe try to leave. Also, I doubt the dragon will try to defend his horde to the death. So,
Also a reference from The Hobbit.
right, we'll go with the
Well, stand right here like a bunch of retards for. Let's go.
Okay, so the first thing I'm
Right, that's
guessing
the
what
right
I'm trying to do is work out these disguises.
Yes.
So how many
so-
people are you
Brilliant.
planning to make look like kobolds?
Oh wait, can he do it for everyone?
I
You
probably
can try and
could.
make disguises
Can he
for
do
as
it
many
for multiple
people.
people?
You've
Oh my-
got
Tom, the makeup artist, right here.
you can try and disguise as many people as you want.
Holy crap!
Well,
Right.
does anyone
First of
want to
all-
volunteer?
Maybe send the other crossbowman to get the other.
You want everyone to
Um,
like regroup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So, do you want this to be the ambush strategy, right? So, A-bomb will be lying on the ground here, or about where the staircase cobalt is.
Yes.
We'll have. How big are these chests?
About that size, like 5 foot by. What's the other way?
So what you're
Like
saying is we
5
can put a
by 2.5.
crossbowman in there.
I wonder if we could like. Could we make like a wall here and put all them crossbowmen in there? Actually, maybe not. We'll put two
What
crossbowmen.
realistic?
We'll put two
So,
crossbowmen down
Before
here.
you do any more thinking, both of you roll an insight check, and if you get high enough, I might be tempted to give you some information that might help.
Yeah, telling me, fuck off.
Oh,
Yes!
What about A-bomb?
Roll A-bombs inside.
He could be a clever individual.
I have rolled.
So, A-bomb
Jesus, he's
really,
so intelligent.
A-bomb really wants to smash open the ice where the frozen warriors are.
All of them?
He just wants to smash it open and see what's there.
Oh my god. Just gonna be like boom, boom, boom. It's like they're all fucking still alive. Oh fuck. Yeah, sure,
No,
whatever.
I
Gonna
Let
let
him go
him,
at
is
it
anyone gonna
while
help
we're-
him? Or
Well, what one's he trying to do?
he just wants to free everything?
what, including the mountain lions?
Right.
Oh, you've got a feeling everything's probably dead because you don't know how long it's been here, but he wants to just like knock all the ice out, maybe like take
Right.
their shit because it's shiny, and maybe inspect like the orcs in case they've got something bear related that he can use for like a totem. Take the saber-toothed fangs because they might be valuable.
Fine.
Right, we'll
I'll
divide
give-
this up.
Right.
We'll divide this up.
Nathan, the 3 crossbowmen will help us, and Nathan will go and sort of maybe keep a watch, maybe, and then Carrick, you start making them costumes.
Yeah,
Maybe make them for
myself and 2 crossbowmen or 1 crossbowman.
maybe even me, you, and Nathan.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. Like us 3, and then 3 crossbowmen can like sort of
Hide
hide
under
somewhere.
rags.
But yeah.
My master. Yes, dude.
So which thing do
Right.
you want to do first?
We'll do
Well,
the
I'm
one with
assuming
the
I roll
elf. We'll do
disguise.
that.
What?
What do you mean first? Do you mean
Like what thing do you want to just like work out how it goes first?
we'll do the disguise.
Okay,
at the
McCoy.
moment.
Roll 3 disguise kits. Is
Just
it,
roll
or-
one disguise kit for the whole thing. See how the whole disguise
Oh
thing
god,
goes.
they're not great.
But
They're not
because this is a creative solution to a problem, I will give you an inspiration dice to roll advantage on that.
So I get to roll a second. It's gonna
Roll
be
a
worse,
second one.
Andrew.
You never know.
No!
You cursed yourself. So, they're disguises,
They're
but
shite.
it's hard to tell if it'll work or not.
Which means they're terrible.
Like, you've got the kobolds' furs and stuff, and you've got it set up so you could wear the furs, and you've like chopped off the kobolds' tails and got them tied on so that you could wear the tails almost like around a belt so it looks like you've got a tail. And I've tried to
See-
like make yourself look like a kobold from a distance. You've got a feeling it would probably work and fool somebody. But from up close, it might not hold up to scrutiny.
To add extra effect, whoever's gonna be customized is gonna have to carry a shitty weapon. You don't have to use it.
That would be like
But
part
you-
of the whole disguise thing.
Okay. Fucking 7 and a 3, roll 20. When I need you, you let me down.
Alright, let's
Right.
pass through the
Bash
ice.
through everything else, I will lend a hand with
So who else
Forward.
gonna look through the like ice, and which
Right,
ones so you
just
can
up.
like
I'll go
open
with-
up and look through?
The
Well, we're
dwarf
nearly
and elf
finished
one.
this one. We'll do it another. We're nearly finished this one, so I'd be curious to do that one.
So you wanna do the one closest to the entrance first?
Yes, and then we'll work our way back. Well, obviously avoiding the
So
mountain
who else
lions.
helping? Carrick would be making the disguises right now.
Okay, well I'm
Yeah.
over here. A-bomb.
I'll help.
Okay, so it doesn't really take you long to smash your way through since you pretty much have unlimited time until the dragon arrives. But as you smash your way through, are you gonna like, kind of loot the people, inspect them, maybe see what they've got?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you're looking through, and like these bodies are completely frozen over, encased in ice. A-bomb's like smashed a tunnel through so you can look at them, but hasn't like got all the ice off them just yet. But looking at them, You see that one is a human archer, the other seems to be some sort of human wearing medium-ish looking armor that seems to have got beat up quite a bit, wielding a mace. Though they might have something you could use. If you want to spend more time to like chip your way through all of the ice and
Yeah, so I want to see if they have any
okay.
potions or.
Roll investigation.
Investigation unknown.
Okay,
Good.
so while you're searching through them, you would maybe find a total of somewhere around 12 gold between the two of them, which
Nice.
is frozen inside their coin purses. And
Well,
you do find a potion vial on the more melee looking person with a hammer. And while inspecting the archer, you're particularly drawn to this set of what look to be like goggles that they've got like up on their forehead. They look like they're quite finely crafted and could possibly serve some sort of use or purpose.
Can I take the goggles off?
It would take a while to chip them off without breaking them, but you would be able to get them off
I'll
their
try to
head.
go for the goggles and what did the melee guy have? He had a potion.
Is a potion.
Yeah, I'll try to get to the potion too.
Okay. Do you want to try and determine what they might be?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'll try
Sure,
trying
gi-
the glasses on or something.
So, as you put the glasses on, you're almost blinded by the light of your lantern and have to take them off straight away. 'Cause it hurts your eyes.
They're seeing the dark goggles. Wait a minute. If I
I'll
wore
just-
those,
I'll just put them in my bag then.
Okay.
if I wore those, could I see literally everything?
Does the
No.
potion what?
Roll Arcana for the potion.
Oh, wait.
What way do you want to try and work out what the potion is? Just look at it, maybe dip your
Just sorta
finger in and
op-
taste a
op-
bit.
Open it up and be like,
Have a wee sook of it, lad. Have a wee sook of it. Just a wee.
Is there much of it?
There'd only really be enough for like one drink of it.
Just have a wee sip.
Take a wee sip of it, aye. Why not?
Just a wee bit, not to drink the whole thing.
Just touch the lips, with it, and
Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
as you do that, for maybe about a second or so, you feel as though like your hands and skin are kind of they almost feel like sticky, but then the sensation goes away.
Sticky.
Sticky, like it's almost as if they stick to the potion as you're holding it, but the sensation leaves after a few seconds.
It's a rock climbing potion, lad. Clearly.
Fucking Spider-Man, boy. Okay.
What do you
That
want to do next?
Actually might come in handy.
Bomb, do you wanna take anything else off these guys?
You see A-Bomb just kind of breaking the ice and poking to him like, "Ugh, nothing to do with bears here," and just storms off.
Next hole.
Next.
Okay, I'm trying to do the same thing, poke around and
Oh,
See what you can
yeah,
find.
just kind of.
When can I join in? Never.
you would be making
Or-
the disguise skits though. Well, you'd probably be able to join in for this one, since it would have
Okay.
took them a while to break their way through and safely get everything.
Try and speed things up a bit here. Speed.
So when A-Bomb breaks his
yeah.
way through and the bodies are opened up, both of you make investigation checks. Okay. And Carrick? Okay. So,
Mm.
as you're looking at these, Beric, looking at the armored dwarf who's wearing partial plate, though it looks as though it's barely just holding on to him. It's probably about to fall off if the ice fully thaws or breaks away. And as you're inspecting him, you see that around one of his hands he is wearing a ring.
It's a ring
Ooh.
of power.
Is it shiny?
It doesn't look super
Seven were
shiny,
given.
though if it got polished up by a jeweler, it probably would look like quite a fine ring.
Interesting.
And while Carrick is
So a ring
searching,
and anything else?
while Carrick's searching the elven archer, you're poking around, and while Eobon was like breaking through the ice, the bow it just like the string is snapped from the cold. The wood itself looks like if you touched it, it would break. Though poking around the pockets, you do find another vial, some sort of potion. And
Excellent.
between the two of them, there is about another 12 gold.
Yeah.
Another sook on the owl potion probably would be advised.
gonna take a wee sip.
A wee sip.
So, well, you take a little sip of the potion. You get the most intense heartburn of your entire life, but then it subsides.
Oh God.
Like,
My insides.
it like physically hurts your chest, but then it subsides. Do you want to try on that?
What the? What
What
happened?
is this?
I mean, what color is it?
It's like a reddish color.
What did it taste like?
Both
After
the
what it tastes
potions are tasteless. They just seem to have an
Oh,
effect.
It's a sensation
Yeah.
or feeling. What did it feel like?
Pain. Nothing but pain.
Hmm. Maybe.
Made my insides hurt. Poison, maybe?
Could be worth soaking your arrows in it.
Maybe. Maybe.
Are
That's
you
probably
gonna
what the arrow
inspect your
did.
ring?
Yes, I would.
Make an Arcana check.
Oh
Okay.
my
Seven.
You've
lucky
Finally,
percent.
a decent Arcana check.
You've seen a ring like this in some stores before. They're normally locked behind like little
No.
display cases. It's not the most expensive one you could ever find, but you've got a good feeling from the inscriptions on it that it's most likely a ring of protection and
Does it
would
fit
give
my
you
finger?
a small magical like boost to your endurance.
Does it fit my finger?
As you try to slide it on, it doesn't seem like it would fit, and then the ring shifts its shape so that it would fit on your finger if you want.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll wear it.
Putting it on, you would get the feeling that the ring would give +1 to the armor of anyone that would wear it.
Ooh. See, this worries me. Arnold's giving us all this shit. So he knows sure rightly that we're probably gonna die here.
Now, do you want to keep the ring? Or try and dish out the two magical items that you find?
What were you saying there, Andrew?
Like, Beric has a potion and two of the magic things. You have one of the potions. Are you going to split them up?
It's probably advisable that we gather all that we know about them,
I'm
split
gonna
them up between the best of us.
wait a minute. I might give the ring to A-bomb, maybe.
It's very interesting for your
I don't know.
character.
Like Andrew, like how attached am I to this ring when I first see it?
That's up to you.
Hmm.
There's no like
Right.
magical draw to the ring. It's just
I don't know.
magical
We
possession.
we will move on and continue. We'll go
Avoid
down
the
this.
mountain lions.
We'll go down this way, and we'll avoid the mountain lions. I go straight for this big barbarian dude, cause I want to see if Bomb will find something that he's looking for.
Find what he wants.
Yeah.
So all of you make investigation checks as well as
Diddle-a-did-it, diddle-a-did-it.
Uh,
so searching this orc warrior. He has a lot of like furs and pelts on him.
oh, is he an orc?
He is an orc.
Damn, what a good guess.
Though nothing really seems as though it's from a bear. There's a lot of hides, teeth of animals, claws, all like woven into his clothes and armor. Looks like a quite decorated orcish warrior that was frozen here in battle.
Okay, so nothing particular. Nothing particular. Okay.
Move on to the next ones.
Yes, move on to the 3.
Roll another investigation to help Ebom, who's getting very frustrated at this point. Like, seeing there's nothing on this orc down further below, you see him just smash the ice person with his maw, just completely shatter it in anger. Is Carrick going to assist in seeing what else there is to find?
So there's nothing on this booty here, no?
Nothing that
Okay.
Ebom wants.
What do I see? What?
Well, there's like furs, claws, and teeth of animals. Like a very primitive axe and shield. Nothing really.
Would it
Yeah.
help the disguises at all?
Could try and throw those furs in with the rest, and it might help. It's hard to really.
Did I, on the way past, to go into the elf and dwarf, did I see the costumes?
Yeah, you would have saw Carrick making them, who had just finished at that point.
What
Try
did,
my
what
best.
was my opinion on them?
Roll perception to see like how well you would have
If you
saw
roll
through the
low, you've
disguises.
Oh,
So-
14's good.
You you saw them like when you first turned around, and you're like, "Are those the kobolds?" Then you got a couple steps closer, like, "Oh no, those are just the disguises."
Haha.
So from like back
I
down
didn't-
here, when you first stepped out and looked over, you thought they might be the bodies of the kobolds that Carrick was pulling things off.
Aye, so when I was 30 feet away.
Well, more like 60 feet away. And then when
60
you were
feet-
like, when you were about halfway there, you were like, "Oh, he's attaching on a tail to a kobold costume."
Oh god. Right. So what's in the ice?
So as you're all checking this second one,
Carrick, what are you seeing here?
you gonna help?
Investigation! Nope, see nothing.
There's nothing that Ebob's looking at. Similar to the other orc warriors, so these ones aren't as large or as decorated. They're wearing like furs and skins of many animals, like wolves. Some of them actually seem to have something that you could only guess is from something like a woolly mammoth or a woolly rhino. They've got teeth and claws, very primitive weapons and bows and arrows. The giant lumbering troll seems as though parts of it are actually cracking and almost breaking off.
Mm. What do you mean, like breaking off from around him?
No, like his hand, like maybe his fingers have like cracks across them, and it looks like the finger might break and fall off in the ice as Ebom's breaking through. Maybe
Oh,
his
okay.
maybe his whole arm will just drop off. It's hard to tell how stable it is.
But no bear stuff.
No bear stuff that Ebom could find.
Ah, shit. He's not gonna be happy.
You can see him kind of the steam and fog coming out of his mouth from his breath as he's kind of eyes bloodshot with anger. I'm gonna kill that dragon. Urgh. Urgh. Just swings up and smashes the frozen troll across the face, shattering the head as it falls off and splinters across the ground in many shards of ice.
My God.
You
Right.
mad lad?
Think everyone should regroup like here for like a meeting of what the game plan's gonna be.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
We'll count this as a second short rest if any of you want to heal or anything.
Yeah.
5.
Is that me?
That
back
would
up?
put
Hold
you to 39 to 40.
on. What are my other ones? D4s or D?
You've got 2d10s and 2d8s. Ah, perfect.
Lol.
Back to full health.
Right. So, I'm thinking. Right, Carrick. No offense, right?
You're
But
shite.
them costumes are really shit. So, my
Just so
thoughts
you
are,
know, the costumes are bad, but it also depends on your performance when using them.
okay.
What do you mean, like acting?
Yeah.
Right. So I'm thinking because the ones you made for them three aren't that great, we could have them sleeping in the beds, crossbows ready, so the dragon might come in, just be like, oh, those kobolds are just sleeping in there, and then like mainly it's if you would need to make sure that your outfit is the most convincing. So have you made yours yet?
I'm assuming I have, Andrew.
Do you want to have done them in like 2 different groups? Like one then helped and then try and make more?
I feel like that's a bit of metagaming, but yeah, I want to make mine as convincing as possible because I don't want to get eaten.
If you want to make like better individual ones, you'll need to do single rolls for each one. Since like you were making 3, so the 3 can go to the crossbowman. Though you won't have advantage on these rolls. So you're making 2 more.
Yes.
So you've got one that looks slightly better than the others, but then you start making your last one, and you're like, oh god, this needs to work. And as you start putting it together, trying to make it as believable as you can, it seems as though it's working. You're getting the furs placed in the right spots, attaching on one of the kobold's tails that you've sliced off, so it actually looks believable and not like a cut off tail. The costume actually looks pretty good.
If I equip the staff, I'll just go, how do we look?
Roll a perception for Derek.
Oh, sorry, I rolled my thing.
You're complete. Like you look at him and you're like you look away for a second as he's putting it on, and you look like, holy fuck, he's back!
He's resurrected again! Oh god!
Like you're completely full.
Sit down, you fool. It's me.
Oh.
Actually, McCoy, make a dexterity save.
Oh shit.
Actually, hold on. I'll
Wait,
roll
what
for
is-
A-Bomb's
what? No, he needs
perception
to roll.
first.
Surely he needs to roll to be convinced.
Okay, A-Bomb.
Yes!
A-Bomb is just like, Scarface, don't be fucking stupid. That's pointy ears over there.
Oh god.
So, what are you doing next? You have 5 kobold costumes.
I say we probably divide
I
up.
say we get rid of that fucking. Looking at them like that other one looks kind of shit. So
There's two. There's two more.
There's a total of 4,
Or
and
three.
then
One.
the one that you're gonna wear because it's the good one.
right, so
okay.
we'll give the best looking 3 to the crossbowman.
There's only
and then-
one good one. The rest are all pretty bad.
That's mine.
Yeah, we'll put the we'll put them in. We'll have them sleeping in the beds or whatever. And pray that
And the,
they're not gonna get caught. Um.
Okay.
See, Kark, the only problem I have with this, right? If you're gonna lead him to the dragon to A-bomb, right? How are we gonna throw the spark bombs without putting A-bomb or you in the firing line?
it's an excellent question. Well, I thought we were aiming the spark bombs at the roof.
Well, yeah.
Might give us that brief second to jump out of the way. We don't
Well,
know.
I mean, if you're gonna be able to jump out of the way, the fucking dragon's gonna be able to jump out of the way.
Probably.
Also, like, I mean, even if you do jump out of the way, you'll probably take, you'll probably get hit a bit, and that is a bad plan in my point of view. I think maybe if you think maybe the same plan to get him in this corner here, or like in this gap. Assuming, by the way, Andrew, we've cleared all these dead kobolds
If
at this
yeah,
point.
you can have cleared up the
I'd like
bodies
to
if you want
fuck them all in back this way or
in
something.
his lair.
Yeah. Right. So here's the plan, right? So, Carrick, if you're happy enough, you'll wait here for the dragon at the entrance, and then you'll greet him, and then say that you killed an intruder, and then maybe rush round this corner quickly ahead of him.
Yes.
Where me, Nathan, and you and A-bomb will then ambush the dragon from the front, and then the crossbowman wearing the disguises will get up and hit the dragon in the rear. And we'll all take one spark bomb each, and some of us will throw it at the roof, and some of us will throw it at the dragon itself.
Okay.
And then after that, it's try not to get frozen into a human popsicle and stabby.
I don't see any other way we could do this, so
I could
we'll call it
use
Operation Yeet.
could use this scroll I have. The
Oh, God,
mirror
the scrolls,
image
I forgot about them.
scroll. So even if, like, actually we have 5 costumes, don't we?
Yep.
So you check the good one, Kark. Nathan, you sit pretend to strike with a crossbowman. Me and A-bomb will wait round the corner, and then so us three will attack from the front, and you four can attack from the back. And just lay down archer fire after you've thrown your spark bombs.
Oh, the poison. The poison, we probably should share that out if there's enough of
Uh,
it.
Is there how many arrows or bolts would the poison cover Andrew, or is it one of
Could
them things that would it dry out and then not be
both of
effect-
you make Arcana checks.
God damn it, these. I never roll well in these.
So,
7.
Beric, you would be able to determine that this is the kind of thing that would be ingested. This isn't like something you'd put on a weapon. Do you want to like try it yourself to see if you can work out what it is?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so you take a little sip. So
Yeah.
you have the same like kind of pain in your chest that Carrick had when he tried it as well.
Oh, is it poison?
Heartburn!
You've probably like you've probably both had rough lives before. Actually, since you've both tried it, make medicine checks and see if you can really determine what this effect that it's having on you is. So
212.
you've felt something like this before.
It's to give you a heart attack or something.
It's not poison. This isn't the kind of effect that a poison would have on you. It feels like maybe at a rough guess, you would say it's the most intense, almost heartburn that you've ever felt in your whole life. That it hurts really bad.
So it just gives you really bad heartburn.
I don't know. That's how you feel. Like you've got
Wait a
painful
minute.
heartburn.
How would you give dragon heartburn?
I don't know.
Would you give
It's
a
up to
dragon-
you.
Shove it down its
How
throat.
would... My master, I have found a potion for you to drink. Yes.
Yes, not at all suspicious.
The question I have though is, the elf that had it, what was his plan for it? How would you get... Does a dragon eat people?
Yeah, you've
No.
saw him freeze and like eat the kobold at the mine where he shattered him in his jaws.
Is there anything in here that he would eat?
Well, I mean, after all the spark bombs are thrown, he might be stunned, so you could always just try to run in and pour it down his throat.
I would just throw the whole violin, probably.
Aye, probably. Hopefully the
Throw the whole
glass
yoke in.
friggin' cut the shit out of his throat the way down.
Oh, friggin', why not?
I don't know. Or you could save it, I mean, I guess, but I don't know. Does Nathan know any more about it than we would?
Wait a minute,
I'll
what
make
was
him
my
do
scroll?
Arcana check.
He would be more experienced in this matter probably than we would.
I'm gonna let him take a sip.
If he wants.
He tries a sip and then he's like, oh, that's the worst fucking heartburn I've ever had in my life. Keep that shit away from me. I've no clue what the fuck that is, but I don't know. Like, if you think dragons can suffer from heartburn, then maybe it'll work. It is a cold dragon after all.
I wonder you just get up to the dragon and pour it in like a wound or something. Oh wait, no, he
Uh,
has to ingest it.
It would have to be ingested. So you would actually have to go up and pour it down its throat.
My master.
Well, I suppose the plan could be when we chuck all the spark bombs.
If he
Air
opens
bomb,
his mouth
air
in
bomb could
pain,
run in and grab its mouth open, and you could pour it down its throat, and that might stop it from using its ice breath, and give us enough time
that's
to.
it's a big if.
It's a big if, but we got any better plans? We're making the best
Not
of
really.
a bad situation here. Okay, right. So the plan is Nathan and you three crossbowmen will pretend to sleep here as kobolds as the dragon passes. Kark, you will bring the dragon round and then scuttle in
Yes,
front of him
yes.
as he sort of approaches this corner. So then you make sure you scuttle in front and get round this corner in enough time. The key word will be this way, my master, this way. Then
It's me, my
Nathan,
master.
you shall know then to get up and all of you throw your spark bombs. If you just want to throw them towards, two you just throw them towards the dragon, and then two you just throw them towards the roof.
So you're
And
giving
then-
everyone a spark bomb.
Yeah, I'm handing out my spark bombs and also telling them the key
Do I
word.
have one or two?
Fuck.
One or two.
I
I
just
have
thought-
two. I can give one if we need to.
Oh, Barrack had 7.
I've got 7.
So you're gonna give 4, 3 to the
Okay.
crossman and 1 to Nathan.
Yeah.
Are you
And
gonna
then
give
I'm
A-bomb
also
1?
giving one. Yeah, I'm giving one to A-bomb too.
Okay. So you have 2 left. And A-bomb.
And then
Come, my master, this way.
actually, will I give one to A-bomb? Actually, I'll take the one back from A-bomb, and just because
Give him the
A-bomb
point.
will, as soon as the spark bombs are thrown, A-bomb will probably have to run in and grab the dragon's mouth.
Well, it'll be on the ground, so it'll be close.
Well, no, we're gonna have A-bomb
Oh,
just
wait, we're not-
hide. We're not
we're
doing
gonna have
that
A-bomb
idea
on
because
hide.
then that would put A-bomb in the killing field. So me and A-bomb are just gonna be hiding around this corner, and then I'm gonna come out when you run round here. We'll then both come out together and throw. I'll throw mine at the roof, and you throw yours at the. Actually, shit, you won't be able to throw one at. Okay, yeah, right. The 3 crossbowmen is gonna throw their spark bombs at the dragon. Nathan and me will throw ours at the roof. Then Kark, you'll charge in with A-bomb. A-bomb, you grab the Scaly's mouth, open it up, and then Kark, you pour that potion crap down its throat,
Oh, God.
and then we stab the crap out of it.
Okay.
And try not to get turned into a popsicle. What else? Is there anything else we could do?
There's no way we could hide a crossbowman in here. No.
Could always try.
Behind. I can't remember. Was that ice see through or not?
Mostly.
No, put them there, but just get them to. Just make sure that they're sort of aware that they need to be spread out somewhat, as much as they
Yeah.
can.
Hiding in the beds or not hiding in the beds?
No, hiding in the beds. Like, so they're
You
just gonna
would
be
be able
like.
to move the beds about, so I'll move you guys out of the way. Whereabouts do you want them hiding in this
No,
room?
no, I just mean, keep the beds where they are.
Okay, just leave them there.
Maybe move these chests, like here, so that it maybe like blocks
along there.
like yeah. Well, no, even I thought just like another one here. See the way like so it's like blocking kind of how
Cover.
big.
Who's moving the chests?
Probably Abel. He's a big boy.
Okay.
Next already.
Is anyone gonna inspect the chests before you move them?
Probably. You know, saying that they're fucking cobalt
Who
chests.
else is looking at them? Ebom hasn't done too well. He's ready to just pick them up.
Oh, Abel! Whoa, 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 whoa!
He's like, huh? What do you want,
Remember-
Scarface? You said move the boxes.
Yeah, but remember whose boxes they are. You not remember the last?
They're my boxes.
Yeah.
Of course they are.
Just let me have a look at them a minute.
Kind of folds his arms and huffs.
I'd like to inspect the boxes on.
Make some investigation.
Damn it!
Boxes seem fine. There's no like wires or traps or anything around the outside
Okay,
of the boxes.
Ebom, go ahead.
Get ready.
So Ebom picks up the boxes, carries them over, and sets them down next to the beds. Nothing seems to happen.
Very suspicious. Okay, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna get a position.
Ebom does start reaching down though to try and open one of the boxes.
Of course he does.
Ebom,
Huh?
come on. We have
What?
to get a position. We don't have time for that.
But I need a snack. Maybe the Scalies have some food in these boxes.
You
Well, that's
really
right,
want
they
to eat
could.
what those Scalies have? You know,
Food-
you'll turn
food is
into
food.
you'll turn into a Scaly if you eat that stuff. You'll be short like them and weak.
Make a persuasion check.
Please roll a 1. Please.
Oh yeah.
Fuck. Damn
Like-
it.
Well, he beat me.
Short like a Scaly. Kicks the box a bit. I'm not short. I'm strong and flexes. Gonna see how well he's gonna be performance. You know, it's not the best. He kind of slips and wobbles, so his display of strength doesn't look that great.
He's still impressive. You know, it's okay. It's all good.
The muscles are flexing.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could do. Probably not. This is probably unless you can think of anything, Kark. I think this is as good as we're gonna get.
I have my scroll that I could probably use.
What does your
mid-fight,
scroll
but
do again?
It's
Isn't it a
guiding
damage
bolt,
one?
so it's a guiding
Oh.
bolt.
You have
one,
two
so-
scrolls.
Wait,
You have
what's the
the,
second
you have the
one?
Dimension Door scroll and Guiding Bolt.
What's the dimension?
Wait, the what?
And Dimension Door.
Dimension door?
Roll Arcana.
What the?
See if you understand
I
what the scroll
never roll
says.
well on Arcana.
You're not trained in it, so you really wouldn't know anything about it. You don't know anything really about magic. Like, you've never learned about it. There is no school that you went to. Like, you didn't go to school for magic like some people would have. So you don't
Where did
know
we get
what
that
it is.
other scroll?
Which one? The Dimension Door?
Yeah.
I
In,
don't remember.
I believe that was when you attacked the Kobos at the mine. I think.
That was in there? Okay.
It was in like one of their tents, I think. You got it somewhere, that's all I remember.
Okay.
Do you want to show
Uh,
this scroll to anybody else? Or just keep it?
Show it to Nathan.
Nah. Well, okay. I'll give the dimension door one to Nathan then.
You don't have to give it to him. Just show it to him.
Oh,
God, he rolled a
Nathan,
1 as
what does
well.
this do?
I
well,
don't know magic. Like,
Looks like
It's
I've never seen this before. You just need to read it. I don't know, something happens. I don't speak wizard.
Alright, looks like we none of us know, so I'll just hold on to it and we'll see what happens.
All I know is something about dimensions and something about doors.
God.
You never know, maybe it could save your life in a sticky situation. If you read the scroll, like if you actually read it to cast it, when you finished casting it, I would say you wouldn't know what it is. But when you cast a scroll, the scroll is used and cannot be used again. So if you like used it in a life or death situation, you would then know how it works and what it did if you cast it successfully.
So everyone knows the plan.
Now, just before we do anything else, for the ring and goggles you found, the ring is an attunement item, which means you need to take a short rest with it so you can actually use its ability. Do you want to keep it for yourself and wear it, or give it to someone else?
Eh,
The Ring of
You can
Power.
only have so many attunement items at a time. I think it's 2. The goggles
Right.
are just a normal magic item.
Is the ring one?
You have to attune to the ring. So you need to take a short rest, kind of meditate on it, and then you essentially bond to the item. And if you want to give it to someone else, they have to do the same thing.
So wait a minute, I don't actually have the effects yet of the ring.
Not yet.
Okay.
You need to like sit down and focus with it and really like concentrate on connecting its magical power to yourself.
Also, no, I'm keeping these fucking goggles.
You're keeping the goggles?
Oh,
yeah. Are you keeping the ring?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I can use both, can't I?
You can. That would make your armor 18.
I'm gonna try to bond with the ring
Okay.
while I, if I have enough time until the dragon comes.
And it doesn't take that.
This is all down to friggin' if Carrick's costume fails, he is fucked.
Yeah.
So you now have the goggles of night magic. Putting them on with your light turned on, you're pretty much nearly blinded by your lantern. Because
What if I cover the lantern?
if you turned off the lantern, you would essentially have dark vision, which is what Carrick has, where you can see in the dark for up to 60 feet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it gives him elvish vision.
If you
kinda.
put it on, you would be able to see further in the dark, but not
Oh
infinitely.
man, literally be like the freaking predator.
You'd see 120 feet in the dark.
Holy sh! That would be so OP.
Forget you, scum. The friggin' Dark Knight's coming. I'm friggin' keeping this shit. This'll be handy
The
when
Dark Knight.
winter arrives.
So, are you gonna prepare your plan?
Oh yeah, just
Is everyone in
Yeah.
position, or where
This-
does Carrick
the-
go?
This is a highly convenient point to end before we all die. Just saying, it's 11 o'clock. And it's gonna take us 2 hours to kill this thing. I do
So
not
the
have
plan
that time.
goes.
the plan will go fine. We'll kill it in half an hour.
It's only
No,
a single
that is-
creature. It's not a
Yeah.
big giant fight with like
Sing-
40 kobolds.
Single creature, but how many turns? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And we're
There's-
fine. If you stop
7
complaining right
people
now
here.
and we just get on with it, then it will be.
This is not gonna take half an hour.
It'll be grand. It'll be half an hour. No bother.
Right, in 25 minutes I'm leaving this call with regardless.
No. You said half an hour.
No, because I've got to do my teeth and all, and then
no.
I'll be in bed for half
Oh, are you ready?
11.
Yeah, go.
Everyone's ready for the plan to be executed.
Execute the plan!
So Carrick, you're staying there in that little tunnel to wait? Or where are you going?
I'm gonna go a wee. I want to be able to see. Wait, how far can I see? As soon as I see him, I'm turning round. My master! My master!
Okay.
I have killed one! That's what I'm gonna be.
So everyone gets into position and you wait a while. In silence,
2
waiting
days later.
waiting for the beast to arrive. You're waiting for a while, maybe about an hour or so, maybe more. Nothing's arrived just yet. Another short while passes, and it feels as though the air itself almost begins to chill and get colder.
Excellent. We know he's
Put
close.
my like hand out and be like,
Gonna put your hand out and
Right.
what?
it freezes in the air.
Yes. And then you begin to hear faintly echoing through the tunnel the thump, thump, thump of wings beating in the sky. You don't see, Carrick, you wouldn't see any light spilling in through the tunnel down your direction. It is probably about dark right now. The sun is probably just set. And then,
Oh yes, obviously.
Briggity frack.
You know, I'm gonna. Well, actually, I'll probably just keep the lantern on, but like have it sort of facing like to the side or something, so it's just not shining out.
try and dim the light a bit.
Yeah, until at least it
Okay.
starts anyway.
The lantern would have a cover to cover it over, so not very much light gets out.
Oh, that's good. I'll just do that.
But the beating of the wings gets louder, and then you hear an almost echoing crash boom through the tunnel, and claws scrape along the ice as you hear piercing, high-pitched echoing and bouncing down the walls of the tunnel itself, slowly creeping ever closer. And you hear a voice rattle out across the walls. I smell your human flesh. I know you've come here. Where are you? As it slowly gets closer. Gotta wait until it appears around the corner. I'm assuming that's a yes.
Is it this moment? Can't realize.
You begin, Carrick begins to see the head of the beast come around the corner as it's creeping along.
Just quickly, if there was a confidence roll in this game.
That would be your performance roll for your act, as you just see it coming through as the head and the eyes.
As soon as I see it, the acting begins.
Yes.
My master has returned.
Roll performance.
Oh,
Oh god.
roll 20.
This is where the plan either goes perfectly or goes to shit.
Pleasant. Oh, come on. I didn't want to do this tonight. I just want to put that out there because I know this is gonna go south.
Just remember, you rolled a 19 on your disguise.
It might be okay. It might
Not
be
So-
enough.
So as you see the head of the dragon creeping around, it just sniffs as it looks your direction. Where are you, humans? As it slowly creeps forward. I smell your fear. I smell your scent. As it's eventually creeping forward, its claws cracking the ice underfoot as its stare comes round to lock with your eyes, almost boring into your soul, as it just kind of glances you up and down. If the humans are here, how did you survive?
replying would be really.
Right, okay. Master, I have killed a fat one. They pushed on deep, leaving him behind. I have killed him. Come quick.
The head kind of raises up and
hoard.
cocks to the side of it. The fat one, you say?
The fat one. Follow me quick.
Did you
Oh,
keep
I-
him alive? Or is he dead?
I can't tell. He's unconscious on the floor, dead.
You better hope for your psyche still lives. The pain he shall endure is unknowing. He
Yes,
shall
master.
feel so much pain, he will wish for death. Roll some
Yes,
deception,
master.
as you're trying to lie to the dragon.
Not again, Otter. You can't do this to him.
You're lying to him. You've got your performance, which isn't great, but your lie seems to be good enough. As the dragon begins slowly lumbering its way through the tunnel, weaving along after you.
Oh god. Go faster.
My master. My master. He is
Right,
around here.
Just gotta make a roll here now.
Oh god, does he spot? Does he just smell the 4 humans that are in there?
You see him step along to roughly where the opening would have been, and duck its head down low, looking in at the beds. A long, dragging sniff as it looks down the tunnel. Where are these humans? I smell them everywhere. They have defiled my lair. They will all die for this. And
They're in
begins.
your treasure hoard. They're in your treasure hoard. Come quick.
You let them get to the central chamber, you whelp. Come here so I can freeze you and eat you for my lunch, you pathetic insect. And it picks up some speed. Make a dexterity check as it's lunging for you to dive out of the way.
Get back there, Macaulay!
It would be about here around the corner.
I
So
quit. I quit. I'm gone. I'm gone.
as goodness sake. So as you're leading it away, its jaws come down for you. You try to get out of the way and they grab on to the kobold tail attached to your outfit and rip. And you just feel your costume and disguise get pulled from your back. You're like, oh shit, as it crumples onto the floor. The dragon's head rearing up with disgust. What is this treachery?
Move, Carrick!
I'm gonna.
We're gonna now enter a surprise round. Every person on your side of this conflict can make one action, and then we roll for initiative.
Carrick, move. Move out of the fucking way!
Right. Okay, Andrew. Here's what I want. I want to visualize right now. I'm really
Okay.
doing the role play tonight. So what I want to do is just jump, kick myself away. I'm gonna land on my back and slide. But while I'm doing that, I've got the yeet bomb. I'm gonna throw it above his head.
So you're gonna like kind of kick off him, who's currently tried to bite at you, or you're just gonna kick off the ground
Yeah,
and jump
and
back.
I'll just kick off him, and then yeet myself backwards and chuck one of those like above sort of his back area for those spikes to come down. And see.
Okay.
That is what I want to visualize. What am I rolling?
So your kickoff, it wouldn't have been great. It would have been part of like your dive to jump out of the way. It's not the most
Yes.
elegant thing you've ever done in your life. You kind of landed on your arm, funny, rolled onto your back, and probably slid right back up against here. As you see the costume get thrown away.
Should have just kicked off the dragon's snout. I'm like, haha.
So you're gonna try and chuck a bomb at the roof.
Yes.
Roll. Just make a dexterity roll. Okay, that's a save, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Oh,
So-
oops.
You mutter the magical word to your spark bomb and chuck it as accurately as you
Yes.
can for the icicles hanging from the ceiling of the cave. It connects, explodes as you see the dragon's eyes look up. Roll 3d6.
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 I'm not able to cast Hunter's Mark in this surprise turn.
You could use your bonus
That's
action to do that, but it wouldn't benefit
That-
this attack.
Okay, that is what I will do for my bonus action then.
Okay.
A 1, 3, and a 6.
So, as you see the spark bomb
What is
explode
with
up
the
above,
ones, man?
a couple of
Never
the
do crits
icicles
anymore.
crack and start dropping down from the ceiling straight towards the dragon. You see it try and shift its body, swing out its wings, and try and knock some of them out of the way, but a couple of them do get past its attempts to defend itself. And you see a couple of them tear small holes through its wing. One large icicle crashes down on its back, shatters and falls off to the side, crumpling onto the ground.
Shit.
And then you cast Hunter's Mark,
I do indeed.
pointing in your eyes, pointing at him, marking him for death. Who wants to go next on the surprise round?
I might as well.
Crossbowman.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
Wait. Okay.
just gonna hop out. Granada. Or actually, no wait.
No, wait, hang on. Your whole thing is pouring the potion in. You moron.
No, it's not. That's you.
You give it to me. Oh,
What do you
Jesus.
mean? It's your fucking potion, you dipshit.
oh God.
You're the A-bomb goes up, grabs his mouth. You pour the potion in. That's the idea.
Right. Okay. I can still move 18 feet.
Well, you can't do anything. You're gonna have to.
It'll be
pray
when
that-
the initiative begins.
You're gonna have to pray that the initiative's in our favor. Right. Throw him a spark bomb, shouting Granada as
At the ceiling or at the dragon?
at the. What did Carrick do?
The ceiling.
Yeah, I'm doing it at the ceiling too.
Okay. Roll just a normal dexterity roll.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Crash.
So
Where does this
as,
land?
as you get ready to chuck yours, getting it out of your pocket and ready to throw, you see the eyes of the dragon just lock with yours and it snarls, sending a shoot of fear down your spine. Your hand quivers slightly, and the bomb, after you've already spoke the word, just drops and rolls about 5 feet in front of you. And you would need to make a dexterity save to dodge out of the way. Though it would still catch part of the dragon in its blast. Who also needs to make a dexterity save.
Jesus Christ.
So you'll need to
I'm
roll
telling
a
you, we should've done this
2d6.
tomorrow.
2d6 for the damage with the bomb. Okay. So you take 5 damage. And you can see that as the bomb rolled down, the dragon looks from you to the bomb and then brings one of its wings around to shield itself. And the impact sends some shards of ice up, poking holes through its wing. And it looks like there's a bit of blood trickling down the wing, but it didn't really do much to the beast.
I just wanna get back in.
Hide back in
into
cover.
cover. Yep, and then Nathan, no!
As the call is shouted out, you see around the corner the crossmen all start to pop up with Nathan,
I want to see 4 yeets here.
and the bolts just start to fly. Oh god, towards the
Okay.
dragon.
They're not throwing spark bombs?
Oh, do you want them to throw spark bombs?
Oh yeah, they're also
that
throwing
not-
spark
Their
bombs.
their
bombs.
rolls aren't. Are they aiming for the dragon or the roof?
The 3 crossbowmen are aiming for the dragon, and the Nathan is aiming for the roof.
Okay, so you can kind of see past the dragon that Nathan's spark bomb flies up, hits the roof, and the last portion of ice shards drop down from the ceiling towards the beast. And it again moves its other wing up to try and cover itself while it tries to knock the shards out of the way, deflecting most, but some bypassing its defense as it gets hit by a few of the stray shards. The crossbowmen they chucked their bombs, most of them rolling, not getting far enough, but landing close and rolling up to the dragon itself. Their impact, like the shockwave from the explosion kind of hitting it in the back, making it take a step forward, its claws gripping into the ice and cracking it underfoot, but not enough to really look as though they impacted it in a major way.
Right, hey, Plum, you're up.
You want Airborne to try and grab it by the mouth.
Yep.
So that would.
This is gonna go so horribly wrong.
So Airborne lumbers round, roaring with rage as he rushes up, and the dragon, taking a step forward, has its head lowered, looking under its wing towards the crossbow. As Airborne just runs up, grabbing it by the jaws, and trying to wrench open its mouth. And with his rage, he gets a 20.
Jesus Christ.
And you see, with
I
all
can't
his
believe
might,
that.
taking the dragon by surprise, he starts pulling open its jaws, maybe getting about 1.5 feet open, but struggling to keep the jaws fully open.
Okay, and now we got a rucksack that you roll high initiative.
Now everyone rolls initiative.
Can we not just use the same initiative we roll coming into the cave? You
No,
Nope.
know?
because then the dragon is
Lad, I
also
told
rolling
you-
its
told you
initiative.
I wanted to do this tomorrow.
God damn it, Macaulay.
No, lad, this is how this works. So I roll high really well all of tonight, but see when you need it, you don't.
Okay.
That's how it works.
A-bomb? Oh, do you want to go before A-bomb or after A-bomb?
I'll go.
Actually, first, re-roll your initiative, because you need to roll off against the dragon, who also got 20.
Oh, for fuck.
So who's going first? Need to get higher than a 13.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So, and then do you want to go
Dragon
before
goes
or after
first.
A-bomb, since he is not here?
I will go after A-bomb.
Okay. So we have Dragon, A-bomb,
If the
Beric, Carrick,
night
and then your
is
allies who rolled a 2.
Wow.
Okay. So, as A-bomb is standing there,
I feel
straining
bad.
with all his might against the
Inside the mountain,
jaws of the
I feel
dragon,
fine.
Shut the fuck up, Macaulay.
I'm gonna die here, lad.
you see the muscles in its jaws start to tense as it tries to break the grip of A-bomb and force its mouth closed. But not being the largest dragon, its jaw muscles don't have the power of the arms of A-bomb, and he is doing his best to keep the jaws wrenched open. And then you see a flash as a claw streaks out, going for A-bomb's midsection.
Oh, damn.
Though being kept far enough away from its body with the length of the neck, the claws just swipe short, scraping across the ice, sending shards across the room. And I could do something. Should I? No. It already tried once. So we are now.
Just saying.
Yeah, bomb.
really.
Oh my god.
A-bomb needs to
And if the
keep going with trying to keep its mouth open.
The man's a tank.
So that's
The
a
man is a
disadvantage.
tank.
Disadvantage.
No, with advantage, because he's raging.
Oh,
He's like in a mindless rage. He's oblivious to the world, pretty much. The dragon still straining with its jaws against him. But you then see its tail, as dragons have legendary actions where they can act on other people's turns. You see it shift its body, and its tail comes sweeping round for A-bomb's legs. And he needs to make a dexterity save.
why doesn't it just like? Why doesn't he just have like a
I call
icy
bullshit.
fire breath?
I can take a picture of the legendary actions section.
No, I mean, I just, like, I believe you. I
We
just,
could have done
fuck this guy.
this tomorrow night, and this plan has
Guys,
been
stop it.
done in the
This is
fucking
not the
pipe.
time.
Stop singing, you dick.
So
I'm going to bed in 5 minutes.
as A-Bomb's
Well, you're
standing
welcome.
there trying to keep the jaws of the dragon closed, the tail sweeps out, catching his feet and knocking him flying onto his back. As
Oh,
he collapses onto the ground, the breath just knocked out of him as he takes a bit of damage and gets knocked back slightly as the jaws snap shut and it snarls at the rest of the group. All of you will die, and you will suffer more than the people of your precious town suffered during the night.
blah 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 blah.
That would be Beric's turn. What are you going to do?
Can I try to, with it like swiping its tail and everything? Can I try to stealth up on it? No. So you
It's-
can't really do that in that
can't-
situation.
Really stealth
Looking
since
at
it's
you?
looking your direction.
Damn it. Well, fucking, Kark, let's fucking do this.
I'm on my
So-
ass right now. I need a minute.
I'm gonna charge out and charge the beast.
Okay.
And my goal here is just to try to deal damage to it so it like opens its mouth in pain, and then hopefully in that short time Kark can run up and do what he needs to do.
That's an incredibly
It's
short
6
amount of time.
seconds. It's 6 seconds.
6 seconds a turn for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe 7 seconds have
believe it.
passed so far. Because your surprise round would have been 6.
Right. So. Boom.
So you swing out with your blade and you catch along the scales and you feel your blade just ricochet back off the rock hard scales of the dragon's hide.
And boom.
But your second blade, you, after missing, well, hitting but sliding off with the first, you try and look to aim your second strike and try and jab it in between some of the scales, trying to get purchase. You do manage to get past the scales. But the scales are thick and the hide under it is just as thick. So your blade, you see a bit of blood trickle out.
Remember, he's a dislodge skill somewhere.
Yes,
Sorry.
on its back, up near its
Oh.
wings. You see a bit of blood start to trickle out,
Here's the sticky
but
punch.
it's not
Yes.
super severe.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to try and do?
Nope. Don't think I can really do anything else. I'm
Okay.
assuming I can't use the scroll. Is it like a secondary?
That would be
action?
your action. So instead of attacking, you would need to step back and read the scroll.
Okay.
Though it is now Carrick's turn.
Is its mouth open?
It's snarling, but
And-
that's about it.
Nope. So that's a big, fat nope.
Could always, could always just run up, try to shoot it in the face.
No, I've got something special reserved for this retard. I'm gonna move 3 feet, so I'm within 15, which is the distance I need to move without falling over.
Well,
Yes.
it's in total a turn. Like if you move more than 15 feet on your turn, you have the dexterity save or fall.
Well, yes, that's what I mean. So if I have to make the move, I'll be within 15 feet.
So you're gonna stop there for your next turn?
Yeah, but I'm gonna
Ah.
use a scroll.
Oh, okay. So you're reading the scroll.
It's
Which
the
scroll do you have?
bolt one.
Guiding bolt?
bolts. Yes.
Okay.
Cast the scroll.
You will need to make your Arcana check to try and successfully read the scroll and cast the spell and the stress of the
Here
situation.
A humble one.
So you've read the scroll. You
Thank
start,
you.
like a light starts to glaze over your eyes as the words begin to come to you and you chant out the incantation of the scroll.
Who
And
is
as you
that?
read it, you see the words of the magical ink start to turn to dust and ash and fall off the page. The page itself begins to catch light, burning in your hands but not hurting you, as it crumples to ash, and you feel from the scroll, from the fire in your hands, a bolt of holy fire just beams from your hands straight towards the dragon. Roll a 46.
Fuck you and your minivan. Do I get Hunter's Mark?
That's for a melee and ranged attacks. This
God
is
damn
like,
it, Andy,
this
you
isn't
could-
something you're doing, this is a scroll.
I couldn't have the 5d6. Like,
That's for like abilities you can do.
oh, look at the state of that. 2
Okay.
ones.
So as the light blasts out into the side of the dragon, you can see it almost taken aback as it whips around your direction, snarling at you. A blackened patch, almost burnt into its
Burn in holy
scales,
hell.
where the holy light blasted it.
Woo!
It's not a
And
lot of
the
damage, though.
scroll is now disintegrated to ash on the ground and is being used. Is there anything else you'd like to attempt to do?
It's not opening its mouth anymore, no.
It's
Yeah,
open like a little bit, but
Somebody needs to stab it in, like, the toe. That would really hurt. You'd open your mouth for that.
there's
No,
nothing else
we-
you'd like to do.
I mean, do I have a bonus action?
You do, if you can think of something to do with it.
Poggers to the whip. Here we go. Oh wait, no, I need to be within 10 feet. No,
Just gonna wait.
no, that's it. That's it. All I can
Okay.
do.
So,
You've got 3 minutes, by the way.
as your blast of light hits the dragon, you see the crosswomen pop up again and start to fire out their bolts. One of them actually got a hit. That's a surprise. So you hear the whiz of crossbow bolts as they start flying towards the dragon's hide. A couple of them sounding as though they're piercing through, getting through the hide and flesh of the dragon. As it begins to snarl and look its head that direction. Okay. So, and Nathan also shot and actually got a hit. But you see
Good man.
the dragon's head begin to look around as you see Beric and Eva may be able to see this the best, but you see a cold bluish glow start to build up in its chest as its head turns to look back the direction of the crossbowman.
Oh dear.
It would still be within combat with you, but you see its head turn round, the cold blue glow build up to its neck, and then bluish flames blast out towards the group hiding within the beds.
And they're not
I'm
even
assuming
spread out.
I don't get a free attack or anything.
You do
when
not.
it's in?
It's not leaving combat with you. So it's
Ah,
like
okay.
got its claws and wings that could still rip you to shreds if you tried. If it was like actually leaving combat, then you could try.
Oh dear, the crossbowmen and bowmen are not spread out.
No.
Well, they were hiding in the beds.
This will
They
go
did not
horribly wrong.
move as was instructed.
Yep. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Oh
None of
boy.
them will survive this.
So we got Nathan, who you can see him rolling his way out of the bed behind the boxes. Seems to have made it out. The one next to him, you see try to scramble away and raise his hands to his face as he is just frozen in spot. The next crossman actually dives behind his friend, who's the one that is now frozen and actually survives the blast of the dragon's breath. And the third one tries to jump out of bed to the side, but you see him get coated in the flames as they spread all out around the room.
Nice.
And two of them have been frozen on the spot. And while its breath is streaking out and its mouth shut and begins to snap around back your direction, you see a claw stretch out, scraping along the ice wall, heading straight for Beric. As it tries to claw you as the closest person to its striking range. Its claw scrapes off the wall, reaching out down for you, and you feel the claws catch against the breastplate, and you feel as though they would break through the chest piece and just rip it asunder, but you feel an almost tingling sensation on your chest, and it's almost as though it pushes the claws just off the breastplate as they then slam into the ground, scattering ice everywhere, and it snarls at you.
Haha.
I
Fuck you,
see.
roll a 7.
You
Roll
have
a 17, you little bitch.
no. You've got your magical ring,
Oh,
which,
I know, but
which saved
he
you. But
probably
his
rolled a
claw,
17.
he did. His claw slams into the ground as it snarls at you. I see you have magical items at your disposal, you insects. Using trickery and magic to fight me. It will not help you here. And it is
Hoggers.
now Airbomb's turn. What do you want him to try and do
Airborne.
as he's a raging madman? Anything too complicated and he'll just take a swing. Because he is in a rage and almost unreasonable with.
Just hate to interject, but I do actually really need to go at one point here. I don't mind doing 2 more turns, but wherever you want to leave this, I'm not doing another round because it'll take another 20 minutes.
Or what do you want Airbomb to do?
I don't know.
You could either do you still want to try to go for that potion thing? We're sticking with the plan.
Potentially, because we've just lost 2 crossbowmen.
Yeah, just Airborne. It's gonna just continue with the plan and try to get the dragon's mouth open again.
Okay. Oh.
That is not good.
So as you see Airbomb trying to rush in and grab its mouth as it's speaking, it just whips its head to the side, and like Airbomb's like grasping onto like the gums, like the lips, and it just swings its head, slamming Airbomb up against the wall, and where he releases his grasp from its mouth. It's like, oh, damn you, big scaly. It's now Beric's turn.
Oh shit. Gotta try to move up a wee bit more. You know, try to get in closer to the body.
Okay.
And I'm gonna swing that sword.
Your blade scrapes across the scales as it ricochets off, unable to catch into the flesh. You swing it again, but you feel the dragon shift and push its scales into a better spot that just even more easily deflects your blade off. As you can see out of the corner of its eye, it's glaring at you. Your human blades are unable to pierce my hide. Even though it's already been cut, but it says this anyway. Do you want to try and do anything else?
Nope, can't do anything else.
Okay, it is now Carrick.
And we'll leave it at that. Because other than shoot it, there's nothing else I can do here.
You can always be creative.
But I've used my creative items.
You don't need items to be creative.
My disguise is gone. My scroll is gone. It's all my creativity. I could throw another spark bomb, but what's that gonna do? It's just gonna kill everybody. Or
Maybe
fuck them
not.
up. No, that's not a good idea.
Could
Well,
use a creative way to get the potion in the dragon's mouth?
What, pot shit? I'm not sure that would work.
What? Maybe go up and roar at it, and then it'll roar back at you, and then when it's roaring, throw it in his mouth quickly.
That's
Try to intimidate it, and then it'll be like, ah, puny human. And then roar back at you, and you just throw it
think
in his mouth.
turned into a popsicle next turn.
No way. Then try it then. What if you got to lose?
This is my last turn, and then I'm going because I'll give you half an hour. And
So
then I'm over
what
there.
do you want to try and do?
I'll do what he says for the benefit of the doubt. And then I'm going.
Yes, but what are you doing?
Roar at him. Take the cap off the potion. Go up to him. Roar at him.
So you're just gonna
Insult
try
him.
and straight up or roar at it?
Insult him, and then roar, and then.
What is your
we'll see how it
insult?
goes. You witless worm,
Is that all you're gonna say?
and then roar. Poggers to the hobbit.
Just roll a charisma to see how your insult lands with the dragon.
Where even is charisma found?
It's your bottom one. Like a big stat, like strength. So
Nope.
as you just
Think about it.
shout
being
out at him.
bad could be
Just
bad,
hold on.
could be good.
Just hold on. As you shout out at him, you witless worm, after slamming A-bomb against the rock, its head just slowly comes back towards you. Its claws ready to try and rip Eric to shreds. And there's a snarl in its voice. You pathetic elf. Your kind think they rule this world. But us dragons are the true inheritors of this material plane. Your kind know nothing of the world.
Right. How, does the scream work at all? No.
Are you still gonna scream at it?
Dead ass.
So, you scream at it, and it's just like, well, actually, roll intimidation for your scream, since I guess that's what a scream would be.
I love how Andrew gives you hope, but then takes it away immediately.
So
'cause
this
it
is a
doesn't work.
pretty fearsome scream, but the dragon just kind of looks at you like, "Why are you screaming at me?" But you know, when it's speaking, it has to open its mouth to speak. So you've technically
it's not gonna-
achieved what you wanted to try and get it
Yes,
to do.
I have achieved, but it's not gonna keep its mouth open.
He is speaking
While I
for
just
quite a
casually
bit,
throw up.
so you have
Just throw it
time
in
while
his
he's
fucking
speaking to
mouth.
do something.
Throw the uncorked bottle into his fucking mouth then.
Then roll just a straight up dexterity to fling it in.
Booyah!
So as he's mid speaking and finishes his sentence, just about to close his mouth, you see unpop the vial. I just chuck it. You see a little bit spill out as it flies, but most of it is still contained within. And it just go down a throat and you go, "Hot! Hot! What is this trickery?" It's starting to cough a bit.
Try it.
Nothing seems to happen immediately.
Mm.
Brilliant.
You'll
End
find
turn.
out what happens on its turn.